out to everybody here on the live, baby. We love you. We appreciate you. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there in crypto land. Let the bass drop. Let the beat bang. Yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback, but we are strong. 98,000. Let's see what happens here. Bit of a bounce for Bitcoin as Sammy comes in there. Bitcoin pumping 98,220. Flattening those shorts. Let's take a look. Let's put the lemon into the water. Let's keep the energy at its apogee, pushing forward every single day. God bless each and every one of you for being here. We got a special guest later on today. The show is fun and packed with a lot of information. I can't wait I just can't wait. The show's amazing. So let's take a big sip of lemon water. Let's do what we do every day. Decalcify that pineal, get ourselves on another level, going after our dreams, believing in ourselves, and making it happen. It starts with the lemon water, taking care of ourselves and doing the right thing. And I did not cue that pixie dust, but it came in just. But shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Let's cue that music back up and running. We can start with our favorite. Be where you are, baby. Let's run it. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on in, and we're going to show you what's happening. We already made a quick scalp here today in the trading group. I said it with a right awe, but we made a trading move, and I'm going to teach you kind of what happened and what we did here on the beautiful weeks. I was on weeks this morning. I saw a shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's a bear flag below the 200 MA. We lost the point of control on the 5-minute time frame. You can see it was like 1, 2, 3, and that was a key level with a double top bearish divergence. I told my team that we were likely going back, and I'll show you where, to the 4-hour 21 MA, and that's just kind of how it works. And so when this dumped, when the second candle started to rip, I sold. I got in and out like a Boy Scout. So we were there right there. Look, 98,841. The average close price was 98,000. Bang, bang, bang. You could join weeks if you would like. I would firmly like you to demo trade. Look at the gains that were made here. Simp for 46%. I saw the inverted head and shoulder just 2 days ago. Boom. It went up literally that later on that day, right? For 50% yesterday for gains. Alchemist AI bounced off the low level there. We could see it was going to happen. It did. XRP, I had it in this beautiful channel waiting for it to cross. Entry was right there. An alert if you needed it. And boom, this thing is ripping and continuing. Big day for XRP. And game on virtual. 61%. Never mind KOLIN. Never mind AVAX. Vader. Right? We ripped Vader too. And just more. And when I first put out Ava back there too. So this is all in the trading group. If you want gains, jump on in. Go to cryptolifer.com. Okay, I'm going to get it up in the pinned comment section, but only I may do that. And I'm going to pin the comment section right here. Me and Sean will work together and get it ripping. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Today's going to be a great day. Why? Because we're going to make it great. We're going to make it amazing. We're going to go after our dreams. We're going to realign our thoughts into the present moment in time. One thing you have to do is stay in the present. You can't be in the past and beat yourself up on what you didn't do. You can't live in the future of what's going to happen and be all worried about it. You got to just live right here in the present moment in time. Okay? That's it. There's nowhere else to be. Wow, even the bot just entered along. That's interesting. Let's take a look at what's happening here for Bitcoin and see if we see anything coming our way here that makes me want to open up a trade or jump on in. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. And God bless the lifers. Funny, I forgot to post it to the Discord. Let's go, people. Let's go. That's how powerful that Discord post is. Insane. All right. Okay. So let's take a look here at Bitcoin. So I called the short this morning in the trading group. If you took the gains, you'd be up in that short. So not only do we show altcoins, ideas, strategies, but I also am constantly trading Bitcoin every single day, doing everything we can. And altcoins are pumping. We're going to discuss what's happening with altcoins. We're going to show you what's hot. We're just going to break down Bitcoin right now. Also, Bitcoin dominance. First thing we really want to show you is Bitcoin dominance. XRP, though, back to 326. Looks like it may kind of now make some type of sideways flag here. But likely it just makes a beautiful flag before it just continues to rip. I see it going to 5 beans. Yeah, that next measured move takes it up to about 396. And that's the first target. The second is $5.07. XRP on that parabolic run to the upside here. Talking about strategic reserves for XRP. Like, that's just, the government making strategic reserves with XRP. I mean, it's just a big deal. So, I don't know. You do. It's just interesting. Yeah. Pretty interesting. So, getting very tight. I could see us head all the way up to 3.97 here for XRP. All right. Are you live? Yeah. No. Live or gang Sam, you for, yeah. Oh my God. I don't know what he means. Yeah. Anyway. So, XRP. Let's go to Bitcoin. Yeah. I'm live every day at 10 a.m., man. Every single day. You can't miss the show. All right? You can't miss the show. So, let's go in. The first thing I do is I'm going to look at the weekly chart here and break it down. So, on the weekly, the first thing I'm looking at on the weekly is this. We have a bit of resistance at 104,500. We have some support bouncing at 93.8, right? So that's our range right now. All right, that's the range. And you can clearly see that we have a bit of resistance now on the weekly at 98,500. I've been talking about it, and I'll always keep talking about my special zone there. Special zone, so strange. This key area at 97,200 that I keep going back to. Okay, so here we are. If we close the weekly below 97.2, I become a bear. All right. And then we start talking about coming back down to 95,000 and retesting 93. Everyone is saying that we're out of the water. I want to let you know that anything is possible and that we could be doing anything. All right. That's what everyone else will tell you what they want you to hear. I'm going to tell you just what I see, and like this could come right back down. It could do 1, 2, 3 more, 4 more weeks. Boom, right? We're not out the gate yet here of this pounding. We could still see some pain. What's good is let the altcoins pump here and pump and run, and run up and down. That way, as Bitcoin comes down, they won't take a massive dump, right? And I'm not saying this is guaranteed to happen. It's looking more and more likely that we may be making an ascending triangle or even a bull pennant, and we could continue to the upside. I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to make that very clear. I have no clue. I say this every day on the stream. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea where Bitcoin is going to go. Not a clue. Not a night. You know what I mean? Nothing. So just in case you weren't sure, I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. All right. No idea. I believe they're going to continue to print money to zero. In the next 10 years, all the fiat currencies that I've studied have gone to nil, right? So through history, and looking at the fiat currency graveyard, it has been determined and told me that we're likely going to go lower. But, there's no guarantees. So this is what I'm seeing here. 98,000. Could we bounce further back to the upside? Only time will tell here for BTC. But you can see, we're not out the gate yet, and we clearly have a bit of resistance at 98,500. If the weekly closes like this, okay, it's indecision. We got wicks on either side. And these bottom wicks tell a story. Like, there's a lot of buy pressure. I mean, wow, like, where were the bears? You'd think they would have been able to continue to push us down. They had a head and shoulder. They had everything they wanted. We should be dumping by now, but we're not. All right. And I'm going to give you my next thesis that a lot of people are not buying, and just something that I'm looking at. 3-day chart, you could also say, okay, we hit the high again. 1, 2, 3. We're going to come right back down to the bottom of the channel. My mentor, he always said, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up. You likely come back down to the bottom of the channel. That's just what I like. That's what's likely going to happen. That's what I see. All right. And that would send us further down, somewhere back down to this key area, right? And again, do we triple bottom? And that level is like about 92,000, 92.3. And we can go lower to 91.8, and then, So I just want you to understand that I'm not saying we're dumping for sure, and I'm not saying we're pumping for sure, but the charts are going to tell me what's likely going to happen. I woke up this morning, I gave a Bitcoin update to the trading group, and it said that we were going to go to the downside. I then posted a bear flag, and the bear flag dumped to the downside. Now we got a little bit of a reversal, but this could just make another flag here and continue down. It could be making a giant inverted head and shoulder. As I showed you, I'm out the trade. You can see there's no trade anymore. I am out the trade. I got in, I got out. It's not that hard to pay yourself. 3 or 4 trades a day. You don't even have to trade too much. It's about not giving back all the money. All right. So big money coming in. Full moon done. Cup and handle on the 4 hour. Interesting. So Bitcoin getting a nice bounce further back to the upside, which I like seeing. And there's that 21-day moving average on the 3-day chart right next to price, which is never a bad sign. I'm going to take away the weekly support or resistance levels, but it's 98.5 and 97.2. I would write those down just so you have them. Let's take a look at our 3-day chart. Already starting a bit of a regression off of that beautiful high. And let's see, the high of this candle was 100,866 and 66 cents. And it looks like we are headed a little further down. Okay, so that's just all we're seeing. And to me, 3-day chart, below the double. I mean, there's a chance, but I get mixed signals on the 3-day. I'm going to have to zoom in for information, right? At 21 strong. So, look, that's a double bottom for Bitcoin. We could easily just rip this up. The daily could close green. The stochastics are bullish. You see? They're still pointing up. There's no reason to think that we would just have a dump. So far, so good for BTC. On the daily stochastics, they say, yes, we could continue to run up. There's going to be some resistance there. And, of course, that king resistance right here at that 102,000. I guess like about 400, 350 area. So this is my hypothesis, and I'm sticking to it. We were in a falling wedge that wanted to break to the upside. We did break to the upside, you know, and the falling wedge did some damage. I want to place it like ever so like this, like so we broke out of the falling wedge. We faked back inside. We broke out again. Now others say no, we're inside this bigger channel. On the bigger time frames, it makes sense, I guess, and you have to. I guess you have to draw that. But I'm just, I want to keep this in the back of your mind that there's this there's this trend line here, and in my opinion, we'd have to break this trend line to go lower. Like it's a spider line, a secret little spider line that most people wouldn't pay attention to. Okay, and just just weird. I get weird vibes. I can't even explain where they come from. So again, though, let's break it down. High, low, lower high, double bottom, lower high. So we're clinging to a double bottom off of 92.5. We lose 92,500, we're gone. The fact that we wicked that low and the bears did not continue the melee is just strange to me. It tells me there's just a little bit more love here back in BTC, but you never know. We're going to take it one step, one candle, one day at a time here before we push it. But right now, the daily looks bullish to me. So the daily passes for bullish. 22 in the 12 hour are a little bearish. But they're just above the 21 hour. They look like they just want to consolidate. Remember, this was a strong bullish divergence here on the 1 hour time frame. It's very strong on the 12 hour. It's just a very strong divergence. You don't see it a lot. 8 hour time frame above the 200 MA. As long as the bulls can stay above this yellow line, I stay a bull. You see what I'm saying? It's a very bullish sign when the 8 hour gets above the 200 MA. Understanding that just so for me, I'm like a micro. I can't explain. I'm like an ice cube, right? You put me in the freezer, I get cold. You take me out, and you're like, "What are you saying, Sam? You're an ice cube? What the heck are you talking about? You're out of your mind. You're not making any sense." Well, it's like when I trade. If I'm above the 200 MA, I'm an ice cube in the freezer. I'm frozen. If I'm below the 200 MA, right? I'm outside. I'm melted, man. You see what I'm saying? If that's just a metaphor I could use for you. So if the 8 hour can stay above the 200, I stay bullish. And to me, this was a fake out breakout. This was a beautiful falling wedge that broke out. They faked it to the upside. They broke it back inside. We had a beautiful divergence. And I'm still bullish here for Bitcoin at 98,003. This looks like, I want to watch the 8 hour time frame. I want to watch my 4 hour, which honestly is doing a great job of resetting the stochastics without losing the 200 MA. We lose the 200 MA in the 4 hour, then I'll start becoming kind of bearish. You'll see me get a little more squeamish, and I'm like, man, And people will start throwing tomatoes at me, calling me a perma bear. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, right? When I get super bearish because we're below certain areas, things don't look good. But so far, I'll take this as this could possibly be a bit of a bounce here. And that moves us to the 1 hour time frame, which is going to give us, if we are, and look how Unbelievably oversold it is. It's beat. And look at this beautiful supportive resistance. This could be a nice look. SR flips have been playing out for Bitcoin quietly and silently while everyone else is using 1,000 indicators. You can literally draw a line and just go 1, 2, like here. This was part of my strategy. Resistance, resistance. We got above it. I drew a flag and I played support and resistance like with a measured move. Like, come on, man. Everyone calls me a genius. And I say I'm just a simpleton that shows up every day, says the successful man. You know, the one thing that Jim Rohn taught me, he was like, you know, I was a common kid from the Midwest. I was a farm boy from the Midwest. I wasn't born with the greatest skills. I wasn't the smartest kid in the class. He's like, but I knew, you know, you don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most agile. You don't even have to be the most talented. You just got to be able to work harder than everybody else and be more consistent than them, and you will be more successful. Successful people don't have it all. What they do have is the discipline and the focus to keep going no matter what happens. That separates them from everybody else. Period. If you want to become great, if you want your name written, if you want to be on Mount Rushmore in your field, then you got to push every single day and be able to achieve more than others. And to do that, you have to be on a high level, you have to have a routine, and you have to keep pushing. So there could be a nice little bounce here for Bitcoin. And as we see, you know, a possible shoulder, head, and right shoulder. So I'm out the short. As I showed you guys, you could even have the short still at break even. And there's a chance we'll make some type of consolidation here. Now, the bearishness is that, like, you know, you got a bit of a shoulder here, you'll make a shoulder, and that will dump. And it'll be like a slanted head and shoulder. I'm open to that. But you'll see, if market structure comes here and you make a right shoulder and you start going sideways, that's not going to look, it's not going to. So the charts will tell you what's likely going to happen. Just like, look, they made a head and shoulder here, shoulder, head, right shoulder, we dumped to the downside. I saw the head and shoulder this morning. That's going to dump. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't have to be a psychic. I didn't have to be a soothsayer. It just was what it was. It showed us what was likely going to happen. And that's exactly what eventually happened here for Bitcoin. So beautiful move here for BTC. A bounce off that lower level. And let's pull a fib here. I mean, it's a 786 bounce, money printer style from wick to wick here. Back into the golden Paquito. So can we get a smaller time frame bounce, which we are getting right now? V-shaped recovery back to the upside on these shots. And let's take a look at what BOOKMAP has in store. BOOKMAP showing us where the stop losses are around the world on the biggest futures exchanges, giving us some key information. So there's still a bunch of longs that have put stop losses down here at 90,000, 86,000, 85 that could get taken out. Doesn't mean they will every time, but there's a chance there's a 90,000 red bar there. And it's trying to tell us that today they want to take us lower. It says, you know, there's stop losses down at 96.6. There's not much above us to compete with liquidity. Again, that does not mean we don't go higher. I've seen nothing here and we've ripped. This is not 100%, but it's about 80%. I did almost nudge it up to 88. It's dang accurate. So it's telling us today we're going to go lower. Just write it down. And I put a box. BOOKMAP say lower. Put an open box. Tonight, if it does, put a check. And you can keep a list of every time that happens, and then you'd have your own liquidity, you know, your own probability pool there. So this says we go lower. Bitcoin is pumping. And so let's go into the smaller time frames. 15-minute getting back above the 200 MA, a known long signal for me. So look, I might actually, hold on. It's Thursday. I don't normally long on Thursday. All right. But let's see here. We're going to take a look-see. 98,005, and that's a key level that we want to get back above, too. 7-minute, nice pump back up. The 1 minute is about to get back above the 200 MA. So the 1 minute going back for the 200. Look at the inverted head and shoulder printed. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. Boom, right? This is also master friend, the money printer right here. See? bouncing. He might use the candle body and bounce off the 786. I'm using wicks and bouncing off the golden pocket. Shoulder, cup and handle. See, this is why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. I just want to show you the daily, you look for this type of pattern over and over again. Like we were doing other things when it happened. And again, it doesn't mean we're going to rip for sure. This could be bear flagging. We got to get above the 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame. Because we're above it on the 15, it suggests that we will. And I'll take this away now for a second and really let you breathe and look at what I'm saying. But the idea is the 200 MA is the gateway. You get above the 200 MA in the small time frame, it lets you pass the big moves. You don't get above it, it's a wrap easy. All right. So, we got to get back above that 200 MA. You want to see a flag now form. All right. This is how price action works. I've been watching it for years. You don't know exactly how the flag, but that's likely. And then you got a measured move already waiting in tow. Now you got yourself a bit of a little, what I call a scalp. Then I build the scalp with the long tool, and I found out what my risk to reward ratio is. I want to know how much I'm risking to get inside any trade. This is 2.95. I'll go to 2.85, but no, really don't want to go much lower than that. And this tells us that we can get all the way up here to 99,250 for BTC. So very exciting times to be here, right? So yeah. Again, my guests are not till way later in the show. I give you guys a whole show first before I bring guests on because I know you guys love the show. And so I've learned my lesson about that. So I think some people thought there was going to be a guest on immediately, but that's not. I dangle my guests. My guests will be on. They're amazing people in that you would have a hard time getting on. They're busy people in the space that do amazing things. People that inspire me. I like to ask questions and find out about people that inspire me. And today I'm going to do that with someone that really, truly inspires me. So, yeah. Okay, so SEI, Sealer. I like it. Even the SEI memes are pumping to the upside. So let's take a look. I'll take a look at my perpetual. And we've been doing great. Last few days, things have just been absolutely ripping. So let me flip. I like the 15 above the 200 MA. That alone gets me giddy to open along just like this. And I'm just basically going on that right shoulder getting made, the head getting made, and then the right shoulder spawning off at one point, right? I've blindly done that before, just taking that trade. At the same time, does this not resemble a bit of a bear flag? And so I'm getting some mixed signals. That could take us all the way down to 96,278 over here. Oh my goodness. Can we hold that? So for me, here's the deal. Right now, it looks more like a rejection of the 200 MA. You see? Again, I don't want to put this out because I'm not saying I'm longing right now. I just show you that's how I plan my trade out. Now we want to see this bounce. You don't want to lose the 21. Otherwise, you could be in this bear flag, right? Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. That's a rising wedge. I'm more bullish. Why? The 15-minute broke above the 200 MA. That can be a catalyst for the boss to play into the bullishness, right? I've seen it many times. So that's the one thing that's got me thinking, okay, maybe there's a chance here that Bitcoin can hold on. I also like the inverted head and shoulder with the divergence. It had a bullish div there. See? What is bullish div if you're new? See this down period and then another down period. It's an up, down, and then you have an uptrend here on the RSI. And boom, a beautiful move back to the upside. All right. I've got a bull flag waiting to print on the 1 minute. And this guy said, all right, the best TA on YouTube. God bless you, man. Thank you. The best live TA. Back tested the RSI price action last night. The homework will build your confidence and execution. Amen. Seize the day. I love you. What I did is I just back tested till I knew what was up. All right. Sam has no pants. That's because he doesn't have any. Yeah, why wear pants if you don't have to? Crypto Bull. Someone told me that CBC... someone told me some horrible news about CBC last night, man. Could someone confirm? I don't know. God, please help me. But someone said something that I don't want to repeat right now. But it devastated me last night. You know, my mentor, my friend, someone that taught me so much, may not be with us on this earth anymore. And I still need it confirmed. I need to see, someone's got to show me in the paper something. But that's another story. And I found out that someone that basically taught me about 50% of what I knew, helped me so much in crypto, taught me how to trade Bitcoin, got me into, you know, may not be with us anymore. And I was completely devastated, to be honest. I still am, but I don't know. So it's all hearsay right now. I would like to see it confirmed, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. And I'm so sorry. I don't want to be, you know, but, and if I do find that out, man, there'll be, I gotta, like, I don't know, I gotta do something in his name and I don't, you know. Anyway, we'll figure it all out. But man, it's, I hold a heavy heart for sure. So can we get a bump back to the upside here? Can we hold this flag? Are we going down? Really, we got to break above the 200 MA to make me believe that the bulls are in control. If we can't break back above that level, this bear flag will play down. So I'm bullish here. You know, I'm a little more bullish. I like this 15. I like when the 15 gets above the 200 MA. And that tells me that we could, and see the Stokes are pointing up. And the Stokes are pointing up on the 1 hour and the 1 minute too. So, but again, I know better. I got to wait for confirmation. But something tells me that's a great entry right there, but it's a little aggressive. I don't need to be. The last 3 days I've done very well. All my trades have played out. Like, we've been just absolutely nailing it. And so I just don't want to give anything back. I just want to keep nailing it in 2025. And so I'm being a little more conservative. There is an aggressive entry right here, in my humble opinion. Like, there you go, back inside that pattern. To me, that 15 minute makes me want to defy the 1 minute and just open up the trade right here. And another thing I like to do is just to show you how much faith I have in the 200 MA. So much faith. Like, more faith than you would ever, like, I've been trading this stuff for so long, and they tell me what's likely going to happen, right? So after backtesting for years, you'll be able to see things that other people can't see, and it won't be an indicator. It won't be because you use some probability, you know, I mean, it will be probabilities, but it's because you were there. You spent the time, you've been there. They haven't been there, right? So 97,682. And I'm telling you, man, I'm the trader that your favorite trader watches every day. I'm the trader that someone who is putting out a Discord is watching me. They about to short, and then they watch me, and they're like, oh man, he's not short. I don't know if I should go against the lifer. So 161 for 630 would be the, you know, if we got this, you know, and it could be a reversal pump, I would likely just get up into liquidity and take some money off the table here. Again, I still see that we could be in treachery. So I like to duplicate this and keep 2 windows on it. So I have my 15-minute cooking on the right screen. I got my 1 minute cooking on my left screen, and I'm taking in dual data. And I'm bouncing the data through my subconscious mind as I work, right? And eventually one thing says something or the other. Like, look, I can almost see this as a head and shoulder, you see? Any moment my brain could change and see something that I didn't see before. And that's like kung fu, like chess. I always tell you, and that's why even like Wu-Tang talked about how kung fu was like chess too, right? You must think before you move, right? Wu-Tang. So you must think first before you move. Now that looks like a bear flag. See, I was ready to long, but I've learned my lesson. Do not long, Sam, till that 1 minute gets at least a couple candles above it. And even then, look, it faked it this time a couple times. So right now, we have to assume Bitcoin is more bearish than bullish on the smaller time frame. There's a high, there's a low. It's making a lower high. which would assume the next position would be a what? A lower low or a double bottom. That's just it. You're reading trend at this point. If you're a simple, and then let's take a look at liquidity. It's telling us it wants to take us to 96.5. So it looks likely that we could go right here, and that's exactly my measured move, 96,498. So look, BOOKMAP and my look, they're lining up perfectly. Look at this. Right to liquidity, you see? I love when this happens. I mean, that's textbook. I want to take a picture of that because it's like, that's what it's all about. Like, it looks like that will dump. What are the likelihoods of it dumping? Let's see. But, you know, that's a picture for the ages there. Lining up the liquidity for BOOKMAP right on chart. And let's see. I mean, if BOOKMAP comes through, it says that they're dumping us. The 15-minute will do what? It'll lose the 200 MA, which I have right here. It looks like it's about to. If the 15-minute can stay above the 200, and this can kind of stay sideways, next thing you know, a candle's above the 1 minute, I'll take a long. You see what I'm saying? I'm not telling you I know where Bitcoin's going to go. I know how to trade it when it goes there. That's all. What do you put more faith in, the RSI or the stochastic? I use them both, but it depends on where they are. Like the RSI, when it's low and the Stokes are low, that's a beautiful entry. When it starts, look, the RSI has a head and shoulder in it right now. Look at it. I mean, it could defy it for sure, but I mean, that's interesting, huh? It's right there. I've seen patterns in the RSI so many times. It'll give you shivers, you know. But so, yeah. So I'm getting mixed signals right now to tell me not to take a trade, to wait on confirmation. So I wait on confirmation. You see what I'm saying? I do what the charts tell me to do. If anything, the short is in control because it's a low. If I had to do anything, it tells me to open up a short with a stop loss on above the 200 MA. But we're still hanging on the 15-minute 200, which tells me to just take a chill here. We're hanging though. You see, we're hanging on it. Absolutely hanging there. So only Tim will tell. Who's Tim? Time. Sorry about your mentor. That would be like us with you, man. God, he will take care of everything, of anything, man. We're here for you, if anything. I'll help you out, if anything, Sam. God love you. No worries, my friend. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I lost my mom. I lost my dad. Now I lost my mentor. It just seems like, yeah. People go, man. It seems to be the way. Changed the camera since yesterday. I don't know if you noticed. We zoomed in more. Realized we were zoomed out. We just changed it. The free, you know, it should be even higher res now than ever. You should really see everything the best. All right. All right. I lost both my mom and dad these past couple years. I'm planning on accumulating 9 in micro caps. Yeah. And, you know, my baby Colin looks like it finally may get some type of pullback here. Colin on a just parabolic run up. And we've been in Colin trading it on and off for a while now, from like about a $4 or $5 million market cap all the way to a $32 million market cap for Colin. And it's got another supportive resistance level there at about 333. I don't know how that happened. 333 happens every time. The guy in front of me today, his license plate 777s, told me today was going to be amazing. Yeah. I don't know if you can get Colin with a Coinbase wallet. It's on Sol. You need a Phantom wallet to jump into Colin. So look, we're getting the bounce right now off the 200 MA on the 15-minute. You see this? Looking like it may want to bounce here. So interesting. Everybody, tomorrow, the prices go up for the Bitcoin conference. Every couple of weeks, they go up like $20 to $30. They just keep going up a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. Sean, send me that flyer just right now into the Discord chat. Trump Treasury pick about to be confirmation hearing. Hopefully they discuss crypto, not for trade purposes. I know, right? Well, let's take a look too. We had some information that came in hot off the press today with the Forex Factory, and it really did not too much, but we had unemployment claims today at 8:30. Unemployment came in at 217, so way higher than normal. That's bullish for Bitcoin. Why? Because it tells us that they'll have to cut the rate. If the market's not doing well, they have to cut rates. If the market keeps doing well, they won't cut the rates. If they cut rates, it's better for risk on assets. It's a game we play, everybody. With this back and forth ping pong action with the Fed. And now at 217, that was unexpected, I'll be honest, because, PPI, which, they're not 100% correlated, but you would have thought that this coming in flat would have done the same. But then more people unemployed here as the year ended coming into Q1. Very interesting. And way higher than the forecast, which is bearish for... Basically, it says they could cut the rate, is what I'm just trying to tell you, which is good for Bitcoin, bearish for the market. And you'd be like, why is the market good if it's put, I get it. And look, now the rate hike, before there was kind of flatness, and now we're sitting at the 4.25, but they're still saying that in the next meeting, flat. They're starting to get a 31% chance of a cut here. And as we continue, if that every time we get unemployment, it continues to go up. Every time we get that, that's going to do something. You see what I mean? It's going to basically cause the... Okay, so ticket prices increasing this Friday for Bitcoin Las Vegas. Just want to let you guys know. They go up $50. One goes up $100 though. The industry pass goes up $100, and the whale pass goes up by about $500. So it just continues to kind of go up as you get in there. So just want to let you know, for Bitcoin Las Vegas at the Venetian, it's going to be pretty awesome, man. It's going to be at the Venetian. You got to love that. So back to BTC here. So yeah, sideways price action, 15-minute hanging. Again, that looks like a head and shoulder pattern to me. And honestly, if I had to tell you, that looks like a bearish retest. Hold on. That's a bearish retest of the bear flag. Likely headed lower in my humblest of opinions, and I could be wrong. No guarantees here. Shout out to the 468 beautiful people. Hit that like button. May God bless you all. Thank you so much for doing that. You're awesome, amazing people, and I really appreciate it. Yeah, so honestly, you see how like a bearish retest flopping and groping around here? Again, though, I stick to my moving averages. I'm so soft because you know why? When I didn't listen to them, they played me for a fiddle. And like they'll play everybody else. I'm telling you right now, there's a chance here that I'm going to front run my signal for the first time in a long time based off off the stronger signal of the bigger time frame. Just want to map out the trade one time here. I would get out at 101, 454. And the stop loss will be at like 97, 682, just right below the 200 MA. Not a lot of risk in the trade. 4-to-1 risk reward ratio, almost a 5-to-1. So risking like 190, 200 for 870. And we already made about 160, 150 today after fees. So like I'd break even right now if I take this trade. So I'm going to take it and just see the power of the 200. What I am though is defying my 1 minute, but this 200 MA is so powerful in the 15-minute time frame, and the fact that it's pumping right here tells me we're likely going to go after some shorts. So we'll see what happens, but it looks like it's pumping immediately off the trade. I mean, I made $30 in literally under a minute. People have to wait tables to make a $30 tip, right? I mean, I just made it in a minute. I'm the king of 3%. I told you that. No one makes 3% faster, quicker, and more consistently than me. I'm the king of 3%. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, old man. The guy is the king of 3%, old man. Anyway, 3.15. Anyway, I'm not bragging. It's $33. I'm showing you strategies more than I'm showing you gains. If I passed away and I made 10 million, if I made 10 million on this trade, 100,000, $5, would it change your life? I guess it would be exciting to see the bigger money because you'd be like, well, I'd lose more money. Now, if the 1 minute can get above the 200 MA, now we're what's called bridging. We're continuing to rip. And that's what we want to see. All right. That's really what we want to see. Wow, we're up 50. This thing's starting to moon. And so you keep your 1 minute on deck here, as well as as well as the 15. And then when the 1 minute crosses, I mean, fireworks. And they made a bear flag, so they got a lot of people to short this bear flag. There's definitely a bunch of short stops up here. There has to be. And my humblest of opinions. Now, here's the battle when you get to the 200 MA in the 1 minute. This is where it all comes down. This is where all my thesis, all my stuff, all my yapping comes down. Either we get rejected here or we push through with the pump to the upside. Look, I'm up 8% already, $70 in under 2 minutes. That's how you print. Okay? Now we got to get through the 1 minute 200 MA. Many times this could be rejection or a little far for the 21-day moving average. I can always scalp that rejection and then get in the second we cross it. Something tells me that I may want to do that. I can move the stop to break even at this. Yeah, oh, it's close now. Cross that 200 MA and we pump so hard, it'll go in a shorts. It will be a pump of a pump. It'll be one of Sammy's just massive wins. And I'll probably make a couple $100 quickly and then we'll call it a day. I'm not, I don't got to be a big shot here. I just don't, I don't like to lose. Don't like to lose. So here's the battle. Can we push, baby? Come on. Get above it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, blew on that baby. And it went, baby. Yeah. Oh, man, you got to love it when you blow on it. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I look for now. Too far for the 21 tells me I got to get out of this. I got to get out. My stop loss, if we lose the 200, we're going to dump. Oh, no. I couldn't confirm in time. All right, so I got out somewhere right there. Why did I do that? Well, I like the trade right now. I'm hot on it. All right. But all I did is buy myself some capital for another stop. Now I want to see this thing flag out, baby. And again, I could be wrong. What if it just punches now? I've seen it. I just don't like the gap for the 21. It's got me sketched. I like it when we're closer to the 21 when I get in. It just makes me feel better. It's part of my models. And so I'm being very disciplined today. I was chasing a little bit at the beginning of the year. I don't know why. Like I was opening this trade no matter what, not waiting for the 21 to touch. Now, I know I got the 15 holding me down, and I knew that was going to likely get us a bit of a punch. But I'm playing it just nice and easy here. This is my second trade of the day. I'm just continue. We do this 10 times. That's $800. Okay? I'm teaching you guys how to trade in a way that most people can't see, don't understand, and have no clue what's happening. But I can tell you exactly with pretty good accuracy where we're going to go today and how we're going to go there based on the probabilities of the market. All right, not based on anything else. And again, I still know that nothing could happen, right? Now, this is what I want to see. You got to blow on that. You guys are ridiculous, man. Hawk 2 on that day. So, look, I mean, now my next signal is starting to form. This is I love this signal, the 1 minute. And I'm above the 15, which gives me more confidence in the trade. Now, this is a smaller scalp where I'm more kind of tighter on price action, a little higher risk as well. $98.7. See, I'm not really sweating price action like the number of price, like how much Bitcoin is. That doesn't really matter. I'm looking at what's happening here, and you could do this on any market in the world. You could trade any market in the world this way, my friends. Any single market in the world. It does not matter what it is. You can do it, all right? This is a strategy that has played out for me many, many times in my life over and over again. And so I give it to you. I gift it to you. The key is not to keep risking more than you should lose. But again, now the same thing that happened on the 15 should likely happen on the 1 minute. So I'm going to confirm the long again here. Actually, hold on. I made one boo-boo. Always make sure you readjust your risk. It's one thing that I do sometimes. I'm too quick and then the price changes and you want to make sure you're getting the same risk. Because then what will happen is I'm really risking 180 when I say 280 because I get in at a different price. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's happened to me a couple times. Now see, I'm using the 200 MA here as my way in. Now this should continue to flag, go sideways, pull the 21, and we should pump. That's what's likely going to happen based on my years of doing this. But it doesn't mean it's going to. I could look like a fool in 2 seconds. There's no guarantees. All right. Oh, there we go, right? She's got me going now. I'll wait for it to come back down. I don't want to chase. The chance it pumps, though. That's the catalyst for the bots to run. The 21's a little far. That's what's got me like... $134, I'll still be up on the day, but very not, like barely, you know? I don't want to chase the pump. But that was the entry there. This thing might start to... Let's see here. It gets above the smooth moving average, then it has a bigger chance of a move. Oh, there it goes. See, now I'm like, dang, I kind of messed up already on the smaller time frame because the 21's gapping away now. That was my entry, and I should already be up. So I could raise the stop quicker to cover. Ah, there she goes. Man, you can't hesitate. You can't hesitate, Sammy. You know what I'll do? Nope, see, I was going 232 now. Now I can't make as much because the risk has to be smaller. Now you got to raise the stop loss to about 98,621. All right. It's okay. As long as it's beneath the 200 MA, we should be pumping. Again, at least I told you what was going to happen to price action. I don't have to make the trade perfect every time, right? So look, there we go. I'm finally in. 1 for 3. We'll see where we go. All right. I may lose this one. I may not win this one. You never know. But it's a good chance because the 21 is curving up. And again, remember, when that 15-minute broke the 200 MA, they told me there was going to be a liquidation of the shorts. The candle was going to pump. I've been studying this for years now. And it's just like clockwork, man. I see it to the point of like in my dreams, in my sleep. When I'm eating food, I see the patterns when I'm driving and in the clouds. And no matter what I'm doing, I'm seeing this stuff day in and day out. It's insane. I live in like a Rain Man state. I find it a bit odd. Some days I can't even buy orange juice at the store because I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I'm walking through the aisles and I'm just like, is that a RSI? Is the milk stochastic? I asked a lady the other day, is this stochastic milk? And she was like, I was like, is the RSI near the registry? And look at that big pump to the upside that it just called for you. Come on, man. Nobody does it like the lifer, bro. Because no one dedicated their life like I did. I'm a nerd, man. All I did was sit there in the chats and play games. Look at the pump off the 1 hour. I just showed you how this works. Like this thing has to adjust because obviously we're not down in the trade. There you go. So, but boom. And I told you I'm the king of 30% over here. Look, now we're getting further away from the 21 yet again. You know, it tells me, but we broke the smooth moving average. So then you can put the stop loss right there. This thing should reach for the stars now. Reach for the stars, kid. Reach for the stars. And you know what? Thank you to the trading, the trading oppositions, the algorithms for making me look smart today. You guys did what you were supposed to do. You played with the moving averages the way I like you to do it. And look, now we can keep scalping, see? We don't have to risk tons of money. Look at that thing move, man. Look at that candle moon, baby. Look at the way it pumps to the upside. Bah! Like it had eyes, man. My dad used to say as he played pool, right? And I would just scalp that. That's unsustainably away from the 21-day moving average. You see? Oh. Now, the key was to really get in on the 15-minute and let it roll. All right. But I've been drunk with gains the last few days, so I don't want to like give it back. I don't want to give it back. But man, look at that thing. Look at that thing. And again, I didn't really have to play a pattern. I stopped playing patterns, honestly. Like, I still use them. We played the pattern last week, but not every trade. I used to only trade patterns in a trade. Now I just trade moving averages. Like, we get above the 200, I go in. If I see the 21 curving, now I know that we're likely going to pull back now. There's going to be a trade for me later on. I don't have to chase. There's going to be another one. And if I wait, it's going to be the perfect one. And the one I really want, this is the one I want. This is the model that I really want. All the other stuff I just did, was all fun and games. That was me just warming up. That was me eating hors d'oeuvres. But this is the trade I really want. This is the trade that I really like every day. Like, this is my money printer, my model, like the thing that I really have, like, wow, man. I mean, it's getting, eventually we're going to gap too far away for the 21-day moving average. And this is going to pull back at one point, right? So I just showed you how to identify a short squeeze when everyone else can't. Now look, there's liquidations. These are mass liquidations happening right now. People are getting liquidated. This is a liquidation, a short liquidation. People are getting annihilated right now. Their accounts are getting flattened, I'm telling you. And they can't see what we can see. And so millions of people are getting flattened. And I'm sorry to say, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just being honest. Millions of people are getting flattened right now because they don't understand how to trade. They did not put in the time. I put in the time. It's just like anything else in the world. You've got to put in the time if you want to be, and again, when you're trading against people like me. You're trading against people that have been doing this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years, heck, 50 years. Some of these people, they're 50, 60 years old. They've been in the game 40 years. And shout out to Jamal Antonio with the 1777. May the Most High bless you with the family, brother. May you please check out Sand for your boy. Thank you, kind sir. Yeah. And so I had a short this morning that I took. I called 2 longs. Like, I've already traded 3 or 4 times. I've hit every trade. And we just been ping-ponging the game. Yeah, see, took my $100 and got the short. I'm done for the day. Exactly. Don't push it. Yeah. Don't push it. And I could teach people how, why you shouldn't short at certain times. Okay? I am the indicator. My mind will show you so much. But it all happens in real time. Look, I figured this out. Look, there was a head and shoulder there. You know how many people shorted that? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's a bear flag. How the heck do you long a bear flag? Because I know how to use the moving averages and I know what is stronger. I used to get confused all the time. I look cool right now because I made so many mistakes. It's almost unfair here. I get to look smart because I messed up so many times. Every expert you've ever seen is simply someone that's made every mistake in a narrow field. Niels Bohr said that, the famous physicist, and he was 100% right. Okay? These are the concepts and things I want to teach you. I want to enlighten you, bring you to another level. Like, I hope, a lot of people know Cardano, right? Geronimo Cardano, right? You know who he was. A famous mathematician. Girolamo. This guy was a famous mathematician, man. This is what Cardano was named after. A physicist, a biologist, a chemist, astrologer, a philosopher, a theorist, a writer, a gambler. He became one of the most influential mathematicians of the Renaissance. One of the key figures in the founding of probability. He introduced bionomial coefficients and bionomial theorem in Western world. He wrote more than 200 works on science. These people were doing this stuff. In the 1500s, they were this intelligent. Man, they stole so much from us. Like, our entire society should be at a higher level, man. Human beings are made for so much more. He lived to 74 back then. Okay? And then I want to show you someone else too. Ada Lovelace. This is why he calls it Ada. No one's ever really explained this. I never heard him say it either. And I'm just going off what I know. No one's told me this. I put this together myself. But Ada Lovelace was a mathematician in the 1800s. And this is why they call it Cardano and Ada, man. And so, cryptocurrency is showing us the history of our human race and where we've come from. It's taken years to get this far. So many minds have collaborated to push us through these mathematicianal paradigms that have changed the way we've looked at life forever. Okay? It's just been unbelievable. So look at that 15-minute responding to the 200 MA, just like I knew it would. Eating up the shorts that thought they were in control today and getting us right back into position. And everyone can say, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. But who called the reversal on the live stream? Who put his money where his mouth is? Who showed you how to trade it? Who taught you key insights? Who cared how you could make fun of me? It was a small trade. You could do whatever you want. I don't care. All right? You could do whatever you want. I do not care. If I showed you my daily P&L, you'd probably cry. All right? So don't yell at me. You got work to do. You don't have to worry about my wallet. You got to worry about your wallet. What you do want to know is, how did I do it? How am I making these predictions before they happen? How am I looking so intelligent? I am such a simple man. I am really not even that smart. I'm really just a really consistent guy. Be consistent and you'll be better than everybody else. All right. 200 May, stronger than a pattern. Bookmarked. Amen. Yeah. Always will be grateful for your teachings. Yeah. Will you be live with somebody soon? Maybe. Anyway, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. And Altcoins doing well. I like what we're seeing here with alts. Deep Book Protocol specifically getting a big move last night. I'm going to talk about that. SWE, but Deep really was the big mover. Our baby Deep. And Bitcoin pumping hard to the upside, man. I should have stayed in those trades. Yikes. Yowzers. Look at the massive short squeeze I just called here. And there was no red. There was no real bookmap indication. It was based off the Tutoring on that 1 minute time frame. And I teach you this stuff. And the fact that we had it on the 15 was golden. Looked like we were going to get a pullback first, though. That's really, usually you don't get that much of a run. But what a run. What a run. What a run. So now the next trade that I like is the next touch of the 21-day moving average. Yeah, man, that's the one thing I got to learn is just to hold those trades too. Even I have weaknesses in trading and I take my money a little too fast, but it's okay. Hey, Sam, I bought Zeta Chain like you said and all my money is gone. Can you show the same TL on Zeta Chain? You sound like a weirdo. Why don't you kick rocks, bro? Yeah. I don't want to see you on this channel ever again. The way you said that is so whack. Always great starting the day in a positive place. Changed my life. Thank you. God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Take profit and set stop losses at break even. Amen. Amen. Yeah. Yeah, we're showing you how to trade on a black background. You just imagine the chart. You kind of envision it. And somehow, it all works out. What? You've never done that? Crazy run up for BTC. Let's delete everything here. Get ready for the next plan. It looks like it's a Thursday, but there's some volatility here. It looks like we're going back to 100K. And now the 1 hour is starting to go up too. And see, I don't know what's going to happen. I had no clue that Bitcoin was going to pump. But I did know when we get above the 200 MA that the bots engage. I did know when the 15 minute and the 1 minute were both in conjunction with each other, both basically congruent in decision with each other with that 200. I've been studying this for so long, everybody. It is what it is. Fine. And who cares? It's not about me. You can get just as good. It's about you. Forget me and I and Sam. It's about you. It's about how many people can learn every single day here on this channel. Every single day we show the truth and we show how it works. And dear Lord, thank you for the 627 beautiful souls that had the decency to hit that like button. That's the nicest thing that you could ever send my way. Thank you, dear Lord. That's very nice. That'll come back to them tenfold for just hitting that like button. Attitude for gratitude is amazing. Anyone that hits that like button is showing a huge gratitude as I'm showing right now for those likes. So, dear Lord, thank you so much for the likes. I greatly appreciate it. Nicest thing you could do is provide those likes and help this channel continue to grow and help others every day. I'm giving free information that's playing out constantly. Least you can do is hit that like button. We'll keep it moving. But hey, and you help others learn when you hit that like button because the algorithm will get fed to them and they will come here. And so you're basically helping me teach others if you show up. So thank you for your amazing contribution. Just the like button, just your viewership, honestly, is unbelievable. Like, dear Lord, thank you for the over 2,000, almost 3,000 people here on a daily basis every single day. I'm head over heels. Like that alone is an accomplishment every day to say that I got to stream in front of that many people. I'll take it. It's a blessing. So, dear Lord, thank you for every opportunity you've given me in this life and everybody here. And I just want to say a moment of silence, too, for everyone in those fires. Anyone who lost anything in the fires in LA. Dear Lord, I'm so sorry. To all the people, I'm so sorry about everything that happened. If you did lose your home, if you lost someone, if we lost life, thankfully, I haven't seen as much as loss of life as, thankfully, there's a lot of good evacuations, but people lost everything. So help people come closer to God and not further away in these times of despair. Amen. So yeah, now what we want to see is we want to watch price action make a bit of a bull flag or something. See, now this is where I do use patterns. Understand? See, now the patterns teach me how we're going to, because price action has to continue. And so every time we got that gap for the 21, I'm like, we got to get back. We got to get back. Now you get support or resistance. Now you're back above, remember, 98.5, like I talked about on the weekly. You're back above weekly support. Now you can see, like, so everything starts to make sense. Shout out to Zizzo, Crisis King. God bless you. Thank you so much. Yeah. And so now I start to build my next trade even before it's there. Next time I'm full porting that, man. I had it. I had it in the bag. What I didn't do is lose yesterday's gains, just added to today's, you know. And honestly, Thursday, I don't expect pumps on Thursday. I didn't expect us to pump on a Thursday. It wasn't something that I expected to happen. So I was just like, whoa, you know. What I did see is my model, and I was very wary to take the model on a Thursday. A lot of times I go to do it and it doesn't play out. It faked it out twice right there. It could have faked it out right there to me. There was no guarantees it was going to do what it was going to do. The probability was there, though. Understand? The only reason I believed in it was because I did the years of backtesting it. I put in the work. You've got to put in the work. You put in the work. And honestly, everyone thinks, oh, hard work doesn't pay off. Everyone just cheats their way to the top. But that's just not true. It's 100% not true. I used to think that too, and so it made me demotivated to work hard. That is an excuse maker's lifestyle. The hardest working people are the people that get rewarded the most. The market understands what you provide. Jim Rohn taught me about the market, and Jim Rohn taught me about value. Okay? The market provides value to people who provide the most value to the market. If you're upset with your job, you don't think it pays you enough, you got to figure out what they need at that place, take another class, bring that information back to the job, and eventually show everyone that education you had is helping the job, and then ask for a higher wage. You have to make your knowledge push for a higher market value. Look at me. I used to be a video editor, so I got paid to video edit. But I wasn't a YouTuber. I wasn't an entertainer, right? Now I get paid to entertain, to YouTube, to teach, right? It's different, to sell knowledge. So I got a different education. It took me 15 years, and I put in the work, and now I have that education, right? And I give more value to the market than I used to because I teach others. Before, I used to sit alone in a room by myself and just edit the video. I didn't teach anyone or give anyone else value. So boom. So find a way to give multiple people value at one time. The internet, man, is an amazing thing to do that. So God bless. XRP pumping to the upside. Let's take a look at the hottest altcoins in the game right now. So Bitcoin pump. I don't want to get too obsessed with Bitcoin. Today's one of those days I might trade it all day long, right? We're looking for some type of V-shaped recovery here. We don't want to give this all back. And again, I'm not on a long just yet. I'm just kind of eyeing out this idea here. I'd like to have it ready in case I do get in, because I do a lot of super chats. I'm doing a lot. I'm running around, and I won't be able to kind of come back and get this in at the right time. If I can make these trades while I'm doing super chats, talking to people, engaging, entertaining, coming up with theories, ideas, thoughts, and processes, then you can surely do the same. Amen. Amen. Let's take a look at the super chats here, see what people were saying in the chat, and jump on into the fan funding. Stop fooling yourself and subscribe to Sam, aka your crypto daddy. This guy's. Shout out to Successman. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Look at the price Bitcoin just dropped to and back tested 97.2. That's the number you've been saying for days, even weeks. Amen, baby. Amen. Super chats. Jesus, TEMA, Temu, XCN, AIXBT, GST, and Wildcoin. What's up, Sam? Have a great day. Much love. Shout out to Rudy. We love you, Rudy. God bless you, Rudy. And anybody that gives to this channel, anyone that shows up, your support is greatly appreciated. We're a mom and pop shop. Me and my mom, me and my wife, me and my mom, me and my mama, me and my mama, me and my old lady, me and my wife, man. We're a mom and pop shop, and we really, really appreciate all the support. Like, you bring a tear to her eye whenever you guys are nice to her husband. She's always like, wow. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. We'll get to these super chats right away. Let's actually spotlight you people. I like to show the names. I don't want to just kind of run through it. Used to happen to me. I sent a super chat. He never brought it up. Wow, we got Jesus from 11-7 Productions. We got Charles. He says, how you doing? How's TEMA doing? They got VC capital investing. Everyone keeps saying that. I mean, I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that's true, I guess, but I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to say you're lying either. So thank you for the information. I just got to refresh here. Getting a little clunky. Uh-oh. No, we're good. I think so. I don't know. Oh no. Not enough memory to open this pagina. Send it back, my friend. Send it back. No, we're good. I'm just messing with you. Go to CryptoLifer.com. You see us making wins every day. Please join us and receive the education you deserve. And it's fun. Dude, the people in the group are like, why don't you join? They don't get it because they're like, word, I'm getting so much out of this. Join us today. Go to CryptoLifer.com. Subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription. We can't wait to see you in there. Inside of the inside, you're going to get access to every single thing that I post. All my ideas. I'm up till 3 a.m. the other night. Come on, man. I don't take days off. It does not stop. It's insanity. The gains that just have happened in the last couple days alone. All right. All these massive gains, which are awesome. And I have a course in here that people are charging like $2 to $3 grand for, with Fibonacci, supported resistance, like everything you need. The videos are all here, ready, recorded. Jump on in. Get your 99s worth immediately. I have a weekly screen share every week. We're going to be together tonight. I share my entire portfolio, talk about what went up, what went down. We break it down. We have a blast. You deserve it. Jump on in. Invest in yourself. That 99 will go so far. I'm doing more to make the 99 worth more every single time, and I'm not charging more. So the value of the 99 is going up, and I firmly believe it's just one of the greatest deals in the entire space. So anyway, I'm done shilling myself. Let's get back in. DEVVE, the coin that I really like, making some gains. DEVVE. Look at that. I'm like, that's not deep. But DEVVE protocol. Why do I like DEVVE? And look at this thing just running out the flag. My target was 1920. DEVVE is now at an all-time high again. 1829. My bag of DEVVE is ripping over here to the upside. DEVVE protocol, man. And it's the premier little quiet little DEX for SWE. And as SWE continues to hold strong, SWE continues to be one of the biggest players in the game. DEVVE is going to become that one, in my humble opinion. Could be double topping here right now. I don't want to see that just yet. But right now, DEVVE is just starting. And honestly, that's a bull flag. I see it going to 27. So, and that's strong. It's about to be one of the bigger 6-hour candle closes in the history of its life. DEVVE protocol. Now, it is at a double top. Hit a resistance here. Let's see if it can push out first so it can make a flag above it. If it makes a flag above that level, it's broken resistance. And if you see it flag above 18, then you know that's a likely flag that's going to continue to 27. DEVVE protocol, one of my babies. I like it. And I do hold a big old bag of DEVVE, just in case you didn't know. All right. Okay. All right, moving forward. Wow, 99,370 for BTC. So let's take a look at what we're looking at here. Let's take a look at what we're looking at. Come on, Sam. Hey, you could do better than that. Hey, let's demonstrate what we're demonstrating, huh? So nice little bounce there. And I know I'm annoying. I kind of like redo a lot of stuff, but it's just how I do it. A nice little bounce there, and that's kind of the flag that we could be making. I'm so creative. You're creative. Your mind is creative. God makes you creative. Anyone's like, oh, I'm not creative. This is not true. Put yourself in the position to be creative, and you will be. Look, shoulder could be kind of a head and shoulder too, though. Just play with it. You know, play with this idea. I want to get to these altcoins. There's so many right now, and so little time. Okay. Let's rip through these super chats and get it ripping. All right, and find out what's happening with you guys over here. So let's start with the first super chat that I saw that came in, which was TEMA and Jesus. I mean, you guys love your Jesus, but hey, Colin looks like it's getting ready for more. I have to be honest. Like, this thing is getting shilled. Banter interviewed it on its channel the other day. One of the biggest channels. They interviewed Colin. And this thing's ripping, man. It's up another 11% today. My Colin bag just keeps ripping. I'm excited to see what happens for Colin. That's awesome. This is a nice little flag for Bitcoin. Bitcoin showing signs of bullishness here. It says 100K may be coming. Might happen during the interview. Looks like we may get 100K to spice things up a little bit here for BTC. All right. So first super chat, TEMA. Now TEMA, we already 10x'd it. I never touched it, but I found it at the very lows, and my TA said it was great, and it did great. It did great over there. It was a nice bump. It's getting tighter. It bounced off like a 786. It's in the golden, near the golden pocket. It is consolidating now. There's a chance it goes up for more. Hey, you never know. It was hot. It consolidated. It could be hot again. Many coins have gone on this exact trajectory. So I don't own any, but the target says 9, and that would be a new all-time high for TEMA. It looks healthy so far. It is what it is, you know. I can't hate. The TA says yay. Now Jesus was huge, came up, came down. Ever since then, it's been kind of down. And so I don't know, man. I just not my cup of tea on this coin. Yeah. Not my cup of tea. Let's take a look at XCN in sand. XCN, nice call here for XCN. Let's take a look at XCN in the altcoin window. All right. XCN on Mexi Onyx coin. So, wow, the last time I looked at XCN, I saw it tight and suggested it could move up to about 0.48. It did a beautiful pump to the upside. Look at that thing. And again, I'm a simple guy, man. Draw an ascending triangle. It's going to get tight. High volume node, tight moving averages, bullish divergence somewhat there. Nothing really good. And this thing is ready to rip. I mean, it was ready to rip, and then it did a beautiful move to the upside. Now you can see it's kind of away from the 21-day moving average, but it is pumping like you read about. This is when you would switch to the smaller time frames and see kind of what you're looking at. And again, it kind of followed that Bitcoin flag, and when Bitcoin ripped, everything was like, okay, Bitcoin gonna go up. We gonna go up, right? So now this looks more and more. See how I'm working the flag here on the 1-minute time frame for BTC? And this looks more apparent, like we may get further move here to the upside at 101,450 here for BTC. Interesting. So yeah, XCN also looking nice. I would assume it would pull back here, back to the 21-day moving average on the 5 or the 1. But that thing looks like it may continue to rip too. At one point, the 15-minute will get a pullback. And let's see, see if the smaller time frames can keep you going. Keep flagging the 1 minute till you see some bearish div for XCN. But we did give that call, and it does say it can go all the way to basically almost 5 cents. Sand ripping the metaverse coin, getting busy today. Is that what you say? Remember Sand, Ocean, and Waves? They were like, that was my thing. Sand, Ocean, and Waves. So I like Sand. Why? Well, every traditional coin was doing the same thing. AVAX, Atom, like you name it. They had the cup going, right? Cup's better over here, but they had their cups going. And they revisited resistance of the cup, like right there, and they would bounce. I mean, these are key components for bigger moves. And so to me, it says yes. And then if you drew a fib from this low impulse here all the way to the wick, I mean, we definitely came back down to the 618, and we got a beautiful bounce all the way here to about 136, 137. That looks like it's going to bounce. That's where I could see this thing bouncing. So tight moving averages above the high volume node. This thing looks like it could get busy. Sand looks good to me. It fended off the wolves here and held support at 48. It's at 62, double bottoming. Altcoins also with Bitcoin dominance looking like it's going to collapse. Very strong for Bitcoin. All right. Keep showing you Bitcoin in this flag. Looks like it's going to rip. We could start setting up this trade again. That 15-minute above the 200 MA is a strong signal. 1 hour also wanting to reverse. This takes us to 101,371. Looking bullish right here on perpetual. I'm going to take a look here at the 1 minute time frame and possibly jump on INZA. Jump on INZA, please. I got too many windows open over here. Oh, there we go. I got one right there. Close it down. I'm perpetually open. Look, I already have the trade kind of, and look, there was a flag technically. Again, I told you the 8 hour being above the 200. There's a lot of signs here that tell me there's bullishness. I've been back testing this stuff, and it's signs that no one's ever taught me. So, like, the masses don't use this stuff. I sat alone and just played with my mind, and I found some strange things in the game. Eventually, I realized I could use them against the world because the world didn't know it. I was like the evil TA guy. No, more like Batman. All right, I'm a good guy. I'm more like Batman. 101, 286. The stop loss would be at 99, 130. All right. And we're going to pull that over here. 270 for 930. That would be basically break even. I'd like to make this stop way deeper below that smooth moving average. That takes me to 98, 850 though. That's, hold on. I get a 3-to-1. Oh yeah, 101, 286. 98, 850. Nope, price action has moved though. I don't like when the stop it ends up not being below the 200. It kind of just changes the game for me. And now you have to use the pattern for support and resistance, which is not my favorite thing to do. I like using the moving averages. That entry was better because I had the moving average cope, you know. Tough right now. Momentum's with us, but we're higher on the stochastic. Touch of the 21 though with tight moving averages. Just go for a higher target. Like I could stay in the game a little longer. And if we keep continuing to pump, let's see here. $101,936. Tough. It's like, it's not too bad. I'll take the long, but we're double topping here. There's a chance I easily get stopped out. It's high risk, so just be careful if you do take the long. It's Thursday, high risk. All right, and I already won, so it'll be break even anyway. Let's move forward. I wanted to get it out the way so I could keep moving. AIXBT continues to rip too as well, which is a very interesting coin. AIXBT. Let's take a look at buy virtuals. I mean, the last time I put this out was right here. And how did I figure it was going to move? Just because I do, ascending triangles. Look, I didn't use no indicators at all here. All I use is Fibonacci and patterns on these. I can use whatever, really. Here it came down to the 786 and boy did it bounce. And look, there's my target at 95. And now this thing is up huge from when I first put it out, up 289% for AIXBT. And it was obvious. It was a front-running coin on Cookie. It was the biggest thing since sliced bread. It had a whole ecosystem underneath it. And it was moving at the speed of light. It was the next thing below AI16Z. It was it. Like, you knew it. So I don't know. It was obvious to me this thing was going to move. I didn't put my money in it. Why? Because I got, KOLIN is $30 million market cap. This thing just went from, 27 to this thing fine. It did like a 4X also too, kind of at the same, but KOLIN did it a little quicker. AVA AI had outpaced it actually too and made me some more gains. So I just feel like the market cap was so big for me, but I still could see that the TA was going to play out. Now, I mean, you would be looking for another pullback here. And again, here you just flag out. And when it flags out, and we'll continue to rip. If it doesn't flag out, look for the pullback. If it pulls back, you pull your fib. And you wait for the fib. This is just the same game over and over again. And if it continues to rip, it'll stay in this bullish pattern. And it's in a beautiful uptrend. And I see the next target now at 157. And I don't see why AIXBT won't continue to rip to the upside. Beautiful call here for BTC. All right. Bitcoin starting to do the damage. We're already up 15 bucks. This is a $1,400 trade at 26x leverage, $36,000 trade here for BTC. The only guy who interviews people during live trades, the lifer. Let's look at GST and Wild. USDT. Is that really green Satoshi token? I mean, it's funny. It looks like the coin we just looked at, right? It's in the cup and handle on the 200 MA. Pull the Fibonacci and it's like bouncing right off that 786. And there's that, like, you know, suggested of a move here further to the upside. And boom. So this thing could rock. I mean, yeah, 3.7. I wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole, but hey, it looks good to me on the technical analysis side. All right. Wildcoin, my baby. I hold a big old bag of this. I've been in it since the bear market. Just adding little by little, gain by gain, hanging out. Everything, like I showed you, every legacy coin, and I call them legacy, just things that have been around since the last bull cycle. They all are in the same thing. Even like green Satoshi was, you know, I think that was an older one. We traded that back and forth when it first hit KuCoin, if I remember. But that's a cup and handle. You pull your Fibonacci, and it came back down to the 706 and to the golden pocket. All right. And let me just do through the final few super chats here as we run through. And we got a Bitcoin trade open. If we win it or lose it, you'll see what happens there. Looks like it's kind of sideways there at 99.7. It's a sketchy trade. Some high risk to the trade. That's all. It is also Thursday. All right. So let me jump on into the chat one more time here. Here we are. I was like, where are you at over here? Sam, can you please look at FLOKI, GRT, SEI, and DEVVE? Sol, AVAX. I mean, Sol just bouncing off that key level. I'm going to give you one chart on Sol, the 3-day chart, and say I see it bouncing and pushing. And it double bottomed off of support. And I see Sol going to 341. Looks like somewhere by March, maybe even sooner. That's what I see happening for Solana. AVAX, the exact same thing. No, nothing really to show you. A 3-day chart, cup and handle, ready to rock. I got my entry, the stop loss, and the target 68. Stop loss below 29. Entry around now. It's also up from the entry already. AVAX ready to rock. All right. Everything really in place here. Exactly how I showed it to you because I've been doing this. This is how these charts work over and over again. It's a cycle. It's just a crazy cycle. We'll look at DEVVE, which has been hot recently. Really out of control. And I just see it pulling back a little bit. That's why I had you say, hey, it'll go sideways or up. It went sideways. So this is why you draw this, see? And then track it. I mean, that looks like it's going to rip. That's these ascending triangles, like 95% of them have been ripping. So when you see one, just assume it's going to rip because they have been. So the money's been in this pattern. This pattern has paid me all for the last few months, like over and over again. There's a 3 to 5 risk reward ratio. You can even bring the stop right down there to like 2.6 if you want, 2.67. But that thing looks beautiful. I don't see how that thing doesn't push. I mean, I like TA that looks clean. That's clean technical analysis. I'm all over that. I am all over that. And honestly, if I was here in front of a crowd, I'd say get ready and put your hands together for a very special guest. All right. Someone that I've been really wanting to have on the show for a long, long time. Someone that I should be so blessed to be able to chill with today. And I'm also excited. I have some like questions and like, I don't know. I'm just excited. I like cool people. I'm into people, man. People are what make the world go round. GRT, likely going to do, I told you, every legacy token at the Fibonacci, they're doing the same thing. Don't you see the pattern here? Anything that was from the last rally is in the cup and handle, revisiting support and resistance, ready to head back. That target is 40. And send some jungle to your phantom wallet, Sammy. Exciting updates are live. Join us. Thank you. I gave you my site. Oh, wow. All right. And the FLOKI and SEI, and then super chats are done for the day, my friends. I think I may have skipped HBAR there and XDB. HBAR was ripping out the flag. The last we looked at it, said it could pump, likely to follow, and it pumped. I mean, it was so obvious it was going to move. Hit the first target at 37. My next bigger target is 64. Congratulations to anyone that jumped into HBAR for massive gains. Bang, bang, bang. You did it again, Sam. You did it again. I mean, I showed you where to get in, where to put the stop, and it played out very, very nicely. Could have leved on that, done whatever you wanted on that for some nice, massive gains on HBAR. All right. XDB. This is another old coin from back in the day, right? XDB chain. So, and you can see it just ended up making this sideways flag. Didn't break out that flag as I had projected there. But there you have it now with the measured move the same. Just recycling old works. Still looks like you can head somewhere to about, what, 15, 16? I don't like this coin. I wouldn't touch it. But hey, it's up to you. It's in a flag, and it's revisiting previous support and resistance, and it has the cup and handle like everything else there. And then FLOKI and SEI, and then we're bringing in a special guest, and we'll still monitor the live trade too as well. It's doing okay. FLOKI was in the same flag, right? When Bitcoin banged out, all these got banged out. So that, again, not every trade plays out. That's actually good to see. Those stop losses did get hit. But now it's just right back on the same idea here. Previous support and resistance, cup and handle. And that target takes you to about 36887. If you want to see it right there. All right. And last but not least, Say. And Say, I still got my Say bag. I believe in Say. Kind of, I don't know why. It made it very hard to do. But I don't know what I was drawing there. But Say, same thing. Uptrend, cup and handle. And I just, as long as we get alt season and things start to rip, Say is going to rip to 96. If we have some issues in a black swan, it'll dump to 0. For me, as long as the rally goes on, we're going to be good. All right. And I'm going to bring the music down now. I'm going to bring in my special guest. Take a sip of water here. It's a very special person I've been wanting to have on the live stream for a while. So please be awesome and polite. All right. What are your thoughts on Algo and Cass? Can you check Pepe? Yeah. Yeah, he didn't remind either. Check out AMAT. Live life free. Okay. Thanks. Could you look at FLOKI? Can you look at SEI? Which one did I miss, though? I thought we got them all. J Wolf. Thought we got them all. Anyway, let me just start something up here and get it going. And again, we only do this once in a while, like once a month. So this is not something you're going to see constantly. You're not like, oh. But honestly, I want to show you a different perspective on life. There's always something new and amazing. And I just want to kind of bring you guys into something amazing and let you learn. This should inspire you. If it doesn't, I don't know how I just don't know how it doesn't. All right. So let's take a look here. Just give me 1 second. And we got it going. We bring the music down. Dun 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 dun.
All right, can you hear me?
Oh my gosh, is it? Oh my gosh. So you probably won't see me because we're live together. Yeah. But you'll hear me, and you can always watch the live if you like to see you there. Let me position you nicely here. Actually, I got a window. There we go. Lee, I'll put it on. Should be, and yeah, we can put you here. It's good enough too. So, how have you been? How is your day going? Number one, and yeah, just introduce yourself. I don't know your real first name. I know you as the Martini guy, but I don't know your real first name. So introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, and kind of, why are you here? What's going on? You know, some people may not know you. Most people do. I mean, your reputation is, you know, people know you.
Yeah, so I'm Jordan, and I've been doing crypto a long time now. I mean, how's my day going so far? I was short at US market open, so I was quite happy, and then it started going against me. So I'm kind of in the direct opposite trade to what you're in now. So it's me versus you on this stream. Who's going to be right?
Honestly, it looks like there's going to be it looks like there could be a pullback. I usually scalp, and then my last scalp I might get hit off at the end. You never know. So I didn't put a lot, but we'll see. You know, you never know. It's a bit of a flag there. So what interests me about you, right, is number one, everyone says I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a multimillionaire, right? You obviously, what inspired you? You know, you've said, I've heard you talk about it. You have done that, right? And that's what everyone kind of wants to do. I want to become a crypto millionaire. You know what I mean? Once you get there, right, it's not as cracked up as you know. It's more about what you did with it and where you go, right? But that's the first step, though, right? You have this dream.
I'd say this industry is the most difficult industry to be content. And there is you'll have experienced this as well. When you reach a certain level, you don't stop, you just keep going, and you don't know when to stop, because there is so many people that are far wealthier and there are so many people that are far poorer. And when you're starting out, you're probably starting out on the lower end of that, and you're trying to scale yourself up. And for me, I literally started with about £700. Took a long time to get rich, but it worked out in the end. It was all very good. And a lot of that came from investing over trading, although it's trading that gave me the money to invest with. And yeah, I've vlogged the whole thing. I've been around on YouTube doing crypto videos since 2016 now. It's a long time. It's like 9 years. And I'm only 28 years old.
Yeah.
So
14 years younger than me. I'll be 42 in a couple months. I want to ask you, who inspired you when you were really young? Like for me, my mom said we named you after Samuel Clemens. And I was like, and then I started researching, you know, famous people, known people. And I said, man, I should do something great with my life. Did that ever happen to you? Was there someone, an uncle, a father figure, someone in school as a young kid, were you like, I'm going to make it? You know, was there someone that inspired you at a young age?
It's more of events that inspired me throughout my life. So it's like I've been in situations whereby I used to have a normal job, like probably everybody watching. I didn't really know a way out of doing that, and I would watch people on YouTube making videos with supercars, and I would watch like these normal people that suddenly somewhere out of, I don't know how they did it, suddenly get a bunch of money, buy a supercar, make videos with the car, and I'm like, I don't have rich parents, so I need to go make some money to do that. And so I was like, well, obviously they're making money off YouTube somehow. I'll figure out what it is that they're doing. But at the same time, I'd been investing in Bitcoin since 2013, and it hadn't been going very well. People go, oh my God, you must have got so rich. No. I bought the top. In 2013, I bought the top. So I bought nearly $300 Bitcoin in 2013, which today sounds cheap, but at the time I lost all of my money. So is there anything that's inspired me? I'd say other content creators are inspired me to create content about what it is that I'm doing, and then create a community around that. And I think that learning from other people, like you got Ivan on Tech, for example. I've always been very inspired by what Ivan does. I've watched his videos again since he was a kid making YouTube videos. We're the same age, so we were both making videos around the same time. I'm watching him and going, I can do that. And so I just started having a go. And I think that's the best way for most people to break out, is just, you want to have a go at something, just start having a go at it. And that's all I did. But in terms of people, I find a lot of people very inspirational, but I think there's a difference between people find inspiration in people, and then other personalities find jealousy rather than inspiration. So I would always look for what I want to be rather than what these people have achieved, and how annoyed that makes me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I saw that you got into racing late, like, because I see you on Twitter a lot, and like you own a racing car, or, you know, you back your own team. Is that a dream of yours as a kid too? And how did you do that? And how are you doing that? How is that fun? What do you do? Is that every week? How much do you do?
So that as a child, growing up relatively poor, I always wanted to drive go-karts. This sounds simple. Most people can afford to go karting, but I wanted to do it kind of like to a, like when you take your kids to swimming lessons or whatever. I wanted to do go-kart lessons, and we couldn't afford it. I would watch every Formula One race. I would watch every what's called British touring car race. I would watch all of these races, and I would never be able to race. So for me, starting out on this journey was all about, basically, I need to buy myself a race car. How do I do that? And then, as you'll remember from 2021 bull run, we all got very caught up in the bull run. So naturally, you don't want to be taking time off work to do it. But then the bear market kicks off. So I basically didn't buy a race team. I created a race team. So we invested about £3 million of kind of bull market profits into building up this team. And it only burns cash. Racing is not a profitable hobby. There is no kind of.
I seen you smirk when I mentioned it, and I felt like, being a money guy, I was like, I think that's a money smirk, but I couldn't tell. It was something the way you looked down and did this, and I was like, all right, he has fun doing it, But maybe you eventually get a young kid that loves to race. There's a chance he wins something big, and it turns into something way bigger than you realize. Who knows, right?
I mean,
I'm always optimistic.
with racing, I guess I'm beat down from after a full season of doing it this year in both the UK and throughout Europe, like all of your famous tracks like Spa, Monza, Hockenheim, all of these places where Formula One has raced in the past. And a full season of it's intense. That's what I describe it as. This year I'm going to be a lot more chilled with it. I'm going to do it more casual. This team still will run, and it will run with professional drivers that will be competing for championships, but I'll be more in a team boss type role, because it's bloody, I shouldn't swear, but it's very scary. When you're 200 mile an hour, 3 wide going into a corner, what do? You can't brake, because that means that you don't have the balls. So you've got to hold it in the corner. But those kids that are next to you, that are 15, 16-year-old, that are on the come up, that have got no fear at all, will just stick it in. And what do? You can't defend against that. You might die. My teammate in the team got a very serious brain injury this year from reversing it into a wall at about 140 miles an hour. And he was banned from racing for 2 months while his brain recovered. So you can get hurt.
All right. So now I also see that you're like me. You're a deep diver. Like, I like to trade. I see you trade leverage Bitcoin. I see you go into altcoins. Hard AI. I saw you. I always check your Twitter. And the main reason why I have you here too is, man, when my mom died, and I won't make this a quick section, but there was probably like 20 YouTubers that really reached out to me, wrote something heartfelt. That just like something they would have wrote to their brother or a friend of theirs, right? And we didn't really know each other that much, and this DM came in. And when you're going through something like that, any little moment in time where someone's like thinking about you, it really it meant a lot to me. So ever since that day, I said, man, if I ever get big, if anything ever happens to me, if my channel is going well, I was like, I want to have him on, or I want to collaborate. Cause like, I don't know, I was like, he has a good heart. And that's the main reason too, that, so I mean, also I love what you're doing, but that meant a lot to me, man. It was just a crazy year last year. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. That meant a lot to me that you reached out. And I don't know if you ever went through stuff like that. We don't have to make it about that, but I really appreciate that you reached out, and it meant a lot to me. But jumping back in,
just on that topic, I know how difficult it is to have a difficult time, and your luck was potentially the worst I've ever seen. It was horrendous. So I am very sorry for your loss in those cases, and it's not a nice thing to go through. No. Yeah. But we push forward every day. It's people like you, and I saw your channel grow. I saw everyone, man. Like everyone here, you guys jump on YouTube, you want to learn, and you're clicking through, and your algorithm's sending you different people, and you watch everyone. And I watched. It's kind of funny. I watched you. You guys are younger than me, so I watched the younger guys. But you knew more than me. You were in the game, right? And so I'm watching people, and I've watched you grow. Like, I've watched your channel. I've watched you go from 22 to 24 to 26, 28 years old now, right? And I just, and then I saw how you didn't come out and flash, you might buy yourself some nice things, but you don't come out and, you're not in some hotel in Dubai saying how much money, you're really cool and humble about it, man. You're like, I'm racing with my team. I saw a picture with you and your dad. And that's the type of people that young men need to see, bro. The way the world's going right now, and as you evolve, that's going to be good too. It's just, to be mature with money. And so a lot of kids your age, coming into wealth like that, what can you say to young kids that are going to make a bunch of money this bull run? They're going to be 26, 27 years old. They're going to want to buy Lambos. They're going to want to trap. They're going to, how do you calm them down? How did you discipline yourself? And not go crazy, drink yourself all night long, party all day,
everyone wants to be your friend when you got pockets of money, right? You know, so.
But the bull market stories, oh my God. I wouldn't say I was the most disciplined when it comes to money. It's not that I spent lots in the last bull market, but when it comes to fiscal responsibility, don't give a 24-year-old, because I made a lot of money when I was 24. That's probably my net worth peaked when I think I was 24 or 25, but you don't give a 25-year-old that much money. My altcoin portfolio in the last bull run peaked at $160 million.
Oh my God.
And I didn't know what to do with myself. I just did whatever I wanted. We don't have that much money anymore because I don't know if you remember the second run up on Bitcoin, altcoins didn't pump. Altcoins crashed the first time down, and then the second run up was altcoins was just flat the whole time, and it never really recovered. I over pumped into like cryo war. I remember I was like, I turned $7,000 into like 50 grand, and I was like, you know. And then it was Thanksgiving, and then like the market just stopped doing what I thought it was going to do, and then. Oh man, a lot of people got overexposed because we were looking for a secondary altcoin flush and we didn't get it. We just didn't get it. And we were all just sitting there like, wait, what's happening here? This is the end of the run? Like, it was a really awkward bull run last time, to be honest, you know. It was great until it started going bad, and then it did nothing but go bad for 2 years. And then I would say for me, only in the last kind of 12 months have I kind of started to get over what happened. And I've got so many things that I could share about things that you should do. For example, if you're in profit, you should sell. Like my biggest mistake is going, oh yeah, this coin that I don't use and nobody actually uses has suddenly become worth $200 million. Maybe I should hold on to that for 400 million for some reason. No, just sell. Like you're already in a profit. You don't need to just sell. So I would say that greed is ultimately what will destroy everybody's money on the way back down, thinking that it will bounce back. And so for me, this time round, it's been very different in terms of my approach. I made my money holding for the 100x, but I don't do that anymore because on the downside, you lose the 100x anyway. So you're better off focusing on your 2, your 3, your 4x's, your smaller kind of gains. And when it comes to buying things, I would actually go in the strange camp of saying you should buy a Lamborghini and you should buy some houses and you should buy everything that you want because it will stop you from losing it. But try not like avoid the cars. Like if you look at one of the things that I've lost the most money on is cars. Even like the race cars, we've bought 5 of those race cars and each one is £250,000, but resale on them is probably 110, 120.
They're your niche.
And then when it comes to supercars and stuff like that, you lose $50,000 to $100,000 every single time you purchase something like that. So buy one and enjoy that one and look after that one. And for me this year, look, I could go out and buy a few of them. I've actually opted this year to buy nothing, stick to simple black t-shirts and joggers all year, and just be as normal as possible because I've actually come to learn that material possessions do not make me happy at all. I like the freedom of having a lot of money and going anywhere whenever I want to go and not looking at a price, just pressing I'll have that and setting off on my trip.
You know, it's I like you said that. Like me, my parents finally died, and I got to move. I always wanted to move to Florida, but then when my dad died, I want to leave my mom alone, like in Cold. So I was like, I gotta hang. You know, I was gonna hang. I love my mom. I'm a mama's boy. When she passed, I was kind of like, I can go wherever I want now, and so it was great for me because there was profit to be taken. Things were coming, and I had to buy a home, so I had to finally put in the house 1.5. I had to put some serious money down, right? So first time in my life, you realize, man, this is what I did it all for, and now when I wake up in the morning and I see the view and I see where I live and I'm enjoying myself, I'm enjoying the gains. Like they're here every day, right? Every time I'm in the kitchen, every time I'm in there. And I didn't, you know, it's funny you said like this was the last year and a half of the first time I actually enjoyed the gains of the life, right? And I tell everyone too, like forget about where it's going to go. You know, like I want Solana. What if you put 100 grand and you have 500 grand and Solana hits $500? Like, take maybe $400,000 off the table. Like you have your $500,000, especially if you've never had that type of money before. I've watched my portfolio go up and down a few times, you know, and the last rally, thank God I got in. One thing I want to ask you, thank you guys so much for the new subscribers and the mentor in this, the super chats, but did you 100X Bitcoin? Are you 100X Bitcoiner? Like, did you get in below $1,000 or around 1,000? Like when it gets to 100K?
Yeah, no, my first purchases were around 300. But the more impressive one for me was ETH. I bought ETH around $3.
Oh wow.
So that was pretty sick, but I only bought like $15 or $20 of it. So it's not like I didn't come into the market with a lot of money. I was working in a shoe shop selling children's shoes on a Saturday. That was my job. So that was when when that was going on and Bitcoin's price was that low. That was how I earned my money, and I would earn about £15 a week, which in US is $20 a week. Because I was still at school, I had a Saturday job. So I never was someone that was able to capitalize on the early days of Bitcoin, but I certainly capitalized the second time round, which I guess, is that when you started doing it, kind of around when Bitcoin was like 3,000 kind of time?
I bought Bitcoin I first knew about Bitcoin at $300. So a guy walked down the street and told me about Ethereum. He said, I coded it when it was $9. I was selling drones in the street, like early 2016. So he shows me CoinMarketCap. So I start trading altcoins on Bittrex. And I was already an investor. I've been trading the stock market for 10 years prior. My story is I started trading gold and silver stocks. All right. First time I hit a win, I put $2,000, turned into $8,000 on Great Panther Limited. It was this silver mining stock on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I had opened up an Interactive Brokers account and I started trading the TSX because I really liked gold. I knew the price of gold every day. I looked at it for years. And then I started buying gold and silver. Peter Schiff said we were going to crash. I had no one who knew how to bet trading. I just started buying the silver and gold. Next thing you know, I amassed 40 grand of it, didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, and it didn't realistically, if I was going to take my family out of Armageddon, I lived in New York City, it was heavy. And I literally pictured putting my wife on this little motorcycle, running to the end of Long Island, stealing a sailboat. Because I'm really thinking if they lock down in New York City, because like, what are you buying gold and silver for, right? The end result of like where you have like running away or, preparing for a disaster, right? So it didn't make sense to me. I had all this stuff and then it was like hiding in paint cans in places in my house. Like, I don't know what to do with it. So I'm sitting there and I eventually found Canopy Grow Corp and I was able to make a nice trade. $5,000 turned into almost like 60 grand. And then I got these emails about Bitcoin at $300. And I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a stock. So I can't buy a $300 stock. I was like, I'm not buying that. It's too expensive for me. I didn't do penny stocks, but I did like 60 cents, 30 cents. I was like, but I started researching it and I figured out the hash rate and the difficulty level. And then I saw that the hash rate was going to continue to go up. And, less miners came on, the difficulty went down. More miners came up, the difficulty went up. And I figured out that one day I'm sitting with my dad and I go, I threw the book down. I go, it's never going to go down. Like, this hash rate is, I was like, Dad, this is it. Like, I was like, it's mathematically set to go up. And he's like, what do you mean? It's a Ponzi? I was like, I don't know what it is. I was like, but it's going to keep going and they're going to keep printing money. And that was at around like $700, $800. And I bought $1,000. I started buying it and I ran it up, I ran it down and I never wavered, man. Like I've been able to use the bottoms using the 2-week stochastics. That's 2-week stochastics. You buy those whenever they're low in DCA for like 5 to 7 weeks. And you have bought the bottom for Bitcoin for the last like 8 years, And so that's my story. I love telling it because I had no idea, man. Next thing you know, and so I was trading, and next thing you know, I had some capital, and boom, like I figured out what Bitcoin was, and I got into Cardano with 2 cents. I still hold it to this day. I never sold it, so. But you were on before me. I had a mentor. I was learning, but I was shy. I didn't think I could do YouTube. I was doing YouTube and other things, but I had gone up and down. I had a lot of depression in my life. I had always like, should I do it? I had a breakthrough, man. And so like everyone I see that like people like you that like broke through and went on, you like inspired me to become the crypto lifer. Like everyone, and like I love to connect with you. I hope you come to Bitcoin. Are you coming to Bitcoin Las Vegas? Are you going to make the trip?
When is it?
The 27th to the 29th of May.
No, but I am actually probably in Florida for Daytona this year. Okay. I'm going to Dubai, and you live in Dubai now? Is that right? I do live in Dubai. So when are you going to be in Dubai?
I'm coming for Token 2049. Right?
When is that?
That's in April. I think that's in April. Like,
all right,
April,
well, I'll probably be there.
Yeah, so we'll link up. I'll take you to dinner, and we'll have like a blast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds good. But I'm very jealous of your house in Florida. It looks beautiful. It's what does something like that cost out there? Because in England, that you're talking like £4 or £5 million. Like, it's a crazy amount of money.
Well, honestly, you see blimps of my house, right? So it has like but it's in a nice gated community. But the highest house in this gated community, it's a new community that got built, I'd say 5 years ago. And when they got built, they were like $1 million. But this house is 1.5. You know, but it's 3,500 square feet, 5 bathrooms. It's a beautiful home, but it's not huge. It could be big. It could be bigger. It could be bigger, man. You know,
that's like such good value for what it looks like, certainly. And your whole pool cover thing, I've never been more jealous of someone in my life. You go to Dubai and you get something similar to that. You literally, when you're out there, just have a look at what's for sale.
Yeah.
You'll find that something anywhere similar to that on like a golf course looking area.
7 mil.
That's the only thing. It's like £10 million, like $10 million. It's crazy money.
Yeah. Florida, this community was built, and it's like the last community at the end in Sarasota. I tell everyone, I don't want to tell too many people, but I've been coming to Sarasota for a long time, 20 years. And I believe like the Native Americans thought it was a blessed area. Even though we got hit head on with a hurricane, I was live streaming here the other day. Like I had a generator turn on, my house. It was amazing, you know. I think about you a lot too, because I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment for a long time, man. 10 years, 600 square feet, you know. And I dreamed, and my 2 friends hit it big while I did this. So they were flying around the world. They were doing whatever they wanted. They had $50 and $80 million. Like they had hit it. Their stock is on the stock market right now. Like they hit it. They sold their company to some multimillionaire old man. And they just kept dangling this life that you could have in front of me. You know, they always wore the nicest suits. They always went to the nicest places. The answer was never no, right? We could go to any restaurant, order any steak. Like they tipped outrageously. And I was just like, man, like why shouldn't I live like that? Like, and it was almost like God was saying, hey, this is a life that's possible, but I wasn't disciplined enough. I wanted to hang out with the boys. I wanted to drink. I still smoked weed too much. I just hung out, man. I didn't want to. And then I got a mentor online. I joined a trading group. The guy in the trading group made a video every day. I saw people like you. You made videos every other day. You didn't stop. I saw years later you were somewhere. And I kept saying, everyone I see that's consistent is getting somewhere but me, you know? And I was working, I had my job, but I wasn't living my dream life, you know? And I was like, they're all doing what they want, you know? And so when I saw you get into the cars, fine, it's really not about the money. It's the fact that you have the guts to go after your dreams. You have to spend pounds on your dreams, bro. And fine, maybe it turns into something different and you go a different way. But whatever you learn from that race and using those cars, I think is going to benefit you in another realm, in another place.
Well, the most interesting thing with racing is contact. So even though you would spend so much money going racing, the people that you meet that can afford to go racing, those are really interesting people, because the question is, how did they make their money?
Right.
And it's actually really interesting to see the correlation between the way people make money and the way they choose their hobbies. And I would say there's so much financial degeneracy that goes on in racing for people to fund it and go and do it, and it's because it's a passion sport. But overall, yeah, it's with when you lived in New York, what kind of years was that, and how has New York changed since? I'm curious, because I've been to New York a few times, and I'd say that first time that I went, beautiful. The last time that I went, I was more accosted by people on the street, and the same goes with LA. Actually, when I've been going to LA recently, it's pretty bad out there. What's New York like these days?
I'll try to make this short, but I moved to New York a week before 9/11. All right, so I get to school. I'm 21 years old, and the towers go down. The Twin Towers get hit, and I'm like, what is going on, right? So I'm bewildered. We get through all that. 4 years go by. I stay there. I get a film degree. And it's, it's still this, I was listening to Mobb Deep where they throw bodies in the East River. Like, it was still like, you know what I mean? Like, this, despite a place with security cameras everywhere, when there's a corner everywhere and buildings everywhere, like, you can get grabbed in the middle of the night and, like, you know what I mean? You can get thrown in a ditch. Like, I had the feeling that New York City wasn't Boston. Like, I had moved there and I knew, like, I didn't just go home with anyone. I watched myself. Like, you could end up getting chopped up. But at the same time, you could be going down Fifth Avenue with the richest of the richest. My friends bought penthouses, and it was always fine. So New York had the best of both worlds. You just didn't go down to like Coney Island in the middle of the night and try to buy, do the wrong thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just, as long as you did the right thing, didn't look at people the wrong way, and didn't get if you were drunk kind of, and you went down the wrong spot, like, yeah, you might get yourself, it was like any city. But now, I'm telling you right now, ever since they started I don't want to get too political, but ever since they kind of basically they took away grand larceny, you could steal things at a higher price and not get persecuted. And it just honestly, they started selling just random drugs right in the middle of the street, like in ways I never saw when I was last there literally 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I went to New York, NYC, and it was like, the stuff I saw was crazy. And that was like, I don't know, man. Now it's even worse. And my friends tell me like they lock like the Walgreens near my wife's aunt's house. You used to be able to go in it. Everything is locked up now. They have to like unlock everything and let you get at it. If it's like a bar of soap, like it's like on lock, like they have to lock every item in the store down. Like it's definitely not the same as it used to be. You got a caught. Yeah, you felt it, bro. You came and the safety wasn't there. Like it wasn't there. Come to Florida, man. We'll take care of you. You know what I mean?
The most interesting thing about this is the second Bitcoin conference I ever went to was Consensus in New York in 2019, and I went on my own as I was what I've been like 21, something like that, and I went on my own, or 22. And I just met up with a guy, an American guy called Mr. Christoph. He doesn't make videos anymore. He's kind of more on the back end of things, but he used to make crypto videos.
I think I remember him.
And
I think I remember his name.
He used to do Bitcoin mining. Nice guy. Made very good money in the last bull market and kind of decided that he was happy and content being a private family man, and decided that it wasn't for him, the whole YouTube kind of competing. Which I fully get. Like for me, you talk about consistency. I'm not really the best example of consistency at the moment, and that's reflected in the numbers that are done on my channel. If you consider during the last bull market, every day, bam, 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 no exceptions. And the only reason I could do that, and the only reason I was so disciplined, is because we were all locked inside, and it was that period of time where we was all locked inside and we weren't allowed to go outside. And so for me, it was amazing. But I was in this situation as well, whereby I was living in a very bad area of London, paying very cheap rent because I'd moved to London from being up north to kind of get away from everything up north, because I wasn't really, life wasn't going well for me in Northern England at the time. And I decided to move down to London with my girlfriend, and we lived in a bad area. And I'd made all this money, and then I was too scared to go outside. And so it was a strange time. And I would also say that London has got so much worse. Even now, when I come back to England, I have security these days because I'm scared. A friend of mine got bundled into the back of a car, or they tried to bundle into the back of a car. Another crypto YouTuber that's from England. You probably would know of him, but I don't think he'd appreciate me kind of telling who it is and everything like that. But yeah, that kind of stuff I'm finding is so much more common. So now, the problem is I've never hidden my face, and it's very clear kind of the story and everything. So that's an issue. So now I've got people that work for me that want to make crypto YouTube videos. And I said, look, from the start, you cover your face. You do not show your face. It's one of the problems that I think as we kind of go down the toilet as a world, it will become more and more of a problem. And that's kind of the main reason for moving to Dubai, because even though you have over there all of the cameras that track everyone everywhere they go, the positive side of that is people don't do crime, because if you get caught, you don't want to end up in a jail out there because it's 50 degrees in the desert and there's no aircon, and you're there on for as long as they want to keep you there, and they don't even have to have a trial. They can just decide that you're guilty without any evidence if they want to, because it's a kingdom, not a democracy. But
does it ever scare you? That does ever scare you the other way? Like if you ever just like,
yes,
associate with, like, you're at the bar with the wrong person one day and you're like, I don't know that dude, I swear I never met him. Like, I was just having a drink. It's like I wouldn't want to talk to anyone a bit, or I'd be a little more cautious of who I associated with, I guess.
That is exactly something that you've got to do out there. I don't do an awful lot of socializing, just for the reason of say the wrong thing to the wrong person, then it can land you in some trouble. The other thing is if you swear in Dubai, especially if you swear at an Emirati, that can be 6 months in jail, can that, for just sticking a middle finger up at somebody. So when you're out there, don't swear. The rules are strict, but if you abide by them, it is not a problem. And that's also the other reason when I'm out there, I do not drink. I don't do anything really fun. But for me, as somebody that is prone to making bad decisions, it is actually a really good place to be, because all I do is work, and I love work. I just like you have so much passion for your show. I have the same passion, and when I'm out there, I can do what I want to do. But in England, you can have more fun. You can do certain. I mean, I understand the culture. I understand everything here. So, and for the most part, I'm anonymous because most people don't know who I am. Most people aren't in crypto, and that's also another reason why this industry will continue to balloon over the years because most people don't understand it. Most people aren't here. It's just a few internet nerds that kind of get carried away every 4 years and make a bunch of money.
Well, it's funny, we get blinded because it gets bigger on the outside, like Trump, crypto, right? Everyone knows, and it seems more people know. Like I asked a few random people last 4 or 5 months, and I just moved to Florida. Someone's son, what a coin do you have? Oh, I have 7 grand of XRP. Another friend's father, oh, I have some XRP. And I was like, it seemed to be the beginner coin. Like anytime they knew nothing about crypto, but they had some XRP. It was just, and I was so happy to see it pump last night because I was like, man, I like when these new people get paid. You know what I mean? I like when the first time they get in, they actually make a 5 to 6, 7x. Like this kid turned 7 grand into like 35 grand. He's so excited. He's 22 years old. He just got into crypto. And I'm like, all right, let's make sure you keep it now. You know what I mean? Like don't, but now we think, but then you walk around and there's still people that have no idea. You know what I mean? So it seems more popular, but at the same time, it's still like, there's like one Bitcoin ATM I saw in the last like around my whole neighborhood in the last 6 months. Like there's, it's just.
I think it's more awareness than trust because people don't trust it to put money in it, but they're aware of its existence, and I think that's why we'll probably continue with these cycles. I mean, in terms of where I think Bitcoin is going to go this cycle, I think we go up to around 300, maybe $400,000.
Really?
I think at that point. Yeah.
Wait, whoa. This just changed the whole show. Hold up. This is kind of cool. Your Bitcoin prediction is over like into the $300,000 to $400,000 region, huh?
Yeah, about 3. I mean, I did the math somewhere. I thought it should land
like
somewhere. It's like
where do you logically? How do you come up with that? Like, I just want to. I should challenge you a little bit, but I want to know because I actually respect your logic. So I can't wait to see what makes you say that. You know,
if I remember correctly, when I did the kind of calculation for what it was basically on average per bull market, how many multiples does it go from the very bottom of the bear to the very top of the bull? And if you was to do the same thing in this particular occasion, I think it landed like 362,000. But then also when you kind of look at where so you have, there's a thing called the Gartner hype cycle, which is when hype comes in and you've got to kind of guess where you are on the curve. And I'd say that we still don't have the sentiment that would put us towards the top of a hype cycle curve. There isn't enough people that are excited about this industry yet. And the only people that are really excited about it is your BlackRocks and your fund managers, because they're realizing that this is like a penny stock to them. So they can just, because liquidity is so low. But this is also why when we crash, we'll crash so badly. There's two sides of the kind of coin with the Bitcoin exchange reserves dropping. Exchange reserves are dropping. Great. There's less Bitcoin for sale. But that also means there is less Bitcoin on exchanges when people start selling Bitcoin, which means that it'll crush through the order books more. Admittedly, you do have a continuous rise of the amount of USD on exchanges, which is generally a good thing. But that can always switch into short positions. But back to the topic of why do I think it's going to go to $300,000 to $400,000? You think about it like this. Bitcoin is currently, call it $100,000. A 2x multiple from here would put it at $200,000. But at $200,000, I mean, a lot of people seem to think that around 180,000 would be peak, something like that. That's only 80% away from where we are now. And Bitcoin can run 80% in like a few hours. It doesn't, like it's done in the past. I don't know if you remember from the last bull market, but there were several days in the last bull market where it did 30% a day, day after day after day. If Trump starts buying it up and he hands it to the US Treasury, he's got to buy 800,000 Bitcoins, and there is only 2 million for sale. So by that logic, it could even run to $1 million. I don't think he'll end up doing that, if I'm honest. I think that they'll do it through seizure. I don't think they'll do it through buying. And I think it'll be a bit of a letdown to the market. But still, that'll take that supply out anyway. But I think they'll end up doing it. I mean, if you're the US, why would you buy it when you can just go and arrest a bunch of criminals? So you might just up the regulation for a little bit, steal a bunch of Bitcoin off a bunch of entrepreneurs, and then go, right, well, we've got his reserve sorted now. That's what I'd do. Why bother buying it when you're the one that has all the power? So, yeah, why 300 to 400? I think everyone's too pessimistic, but I also think that Bitcoin is going to, I don't think we get the altcoin run. And that's the most disappointing thing for me. I made all my money in altcoins, and I don't know if you're similar to me in that sense of, I love altcoins. They're great. But these last few years, there's become so many of them. It's diluted the interest
100%.
in all of them, meaning that it's very difficult to continue having retention on individual ones, meaning that only true utility will actually generate consistent price growth.
Amen.
Or a significant investment.
Like it has to be something that people actually want. It uses it. They go to buy it, you know, like virtuals. Oh my God, it's hot. I want to keep buying virtuals. So, you know, virtuals will probably go to $10, probably hit $20. Like, I mean, I don't see how it's going to itself should hit a $20 billion market cap. I mean, the way we've looked at it. Right. But you know, what's cool is we can just use our, you know, when I first got into the game, I took this one play and it's kind of helped me through. Uniswap came out. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew just to jump in. I made the MetaMask wallet. I jumped in. I bought the wrong UFAI, right? I bought like YFAAI or something. You know, YFI was hot and YFFI was hot. And of course, I bought like the two fake ones for like a couple grand a piece. I ended up losing $6,000 in like a week or two immediately. And I'm just like, all right, but the airdrop ended up giving me 12 racks, right? So I made it back. And I didn't even remember, someone on my stream was like, I saw you on that site. You have money. Like, go check it. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, you've got the money, like the airdrop from Uniswap. And I was like, what? But eventually I would learn, you know, ETH was too high. I wanted to make staking and I got into BNB. And then I found Cake. And Cake was like, I found Cake at 60 cents and then it went to $44, right? And I knew Cake was going to go up because I saw the Uniswap token go up. And I was like, this is the automated market. This is the coin. This is it. And so I've been kind of making similar plays like that, right? And so even though we don't know the narrative yet, if you've been in the game long enough, somehow, some way, some of our old sauce or what we figured out helps us make plays. And that brings me to my next question, because you seem to be good at finding altcoins, right? I actually watch you and I'll be watching an altcoin I really like, and then it'll come up on your radar. And like, I don't, you know, I think some people might think you may just be shilling and you have a fun way about it on Twitter, but I find what you bring up, you actually believe in, you actually think is going to go up. Like if you put it out, you're like me, you know, everyone looks at, it's almost hard not, everyone thinks we're shills just if we talk about something, but how can we not talk about our lives? Like, hey, this is what I bought today, right? But how do you go about finding some of the coins? Like, how did you find Hard AI? Like what's you don't have to give it all, but what's some of your process and like, what made you like certain smaller altcoins as opposed to other ones, you know?
So, I mean, you know me, I like my small altcoins. Probably like you like your small altcoins.
10K on the next one.
ROI is always so much better. It's either so much worse or so much better, but generally it ends up being so much better if you hold long enough. With Heart, it's an interesting one. So I invested in their pre-sale like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
And I've always kind of kept contact with them. And that pre-sale investment, I think, is running at about a 2 or 3x at today's prices. But still, it wasn't a significant amount. It was like 20 grand or something in the pre-sale. But over the bear market, my entire company, we had a briefing, like, what altcoins were you going to buy with the USD that we hold? Mm-hmm. And that was one of the ones that came up. And it was really cheap during the bear market. And we purchased a bunch of it. I think today I hold maybe $300,000 of Heart.
Oh, wow.
And I just bought just chunks of different coins that I thought are pretty good. And the reason why I like that one specifically is I know that AI is going to be the biggest area of this bull run. Mm-hmm. Without a shadow of a doubt, AI is going to be the driver. So being that AI will be the driver, you want to be focusing around AI-related coins, but AI-related coins that aren't useless, which there will be many of them, and they will drop to zero. Mm-hmm. So it's ones that have got legacy. So what legacy AI coins are there? Well, there aren't very many. There's PAL and there's Heart from my perspective. So I put a lot of money into both of them. PAL more recently than Heart. But I just known about it for a while, and like you see what's going on with AI. I've invested also in AI companies. I bought shares in various AI companies because I think that AI, all you need to do to make money in that industry is the easiest thing on earth. You just stand still. The industry will grow at 32% a year every single year for the next 5 years until 2030. If you look at the stats on it, that's what they project. So being the industry is going to grow at 32% per year, if you just stand still and invest in businesses in that industry, those businesses will grow with that industry on average at 32% a year, which means in 3 years' time, you've compounded your 32% every single year, and you probably sound like a 5x or something like that. Now that's on the company side of things, but in crypto, that just generates hype, and hype generates interest, and it's whatever the narrative is, as we all know, and the narratives go away and it's time to sell. But with Heart, when you look at the chart of it, it's actually just been steadily away, just keeps on notching up higher and higher and higher. And I think it'll go to $1. It's currently what, 4 cents? For me, it's one of the ones that I think will do pretty well. I think I'll get a bag out of it, like a proper bag. And it's been a long time. I am still searching for, I don't know, 100x this bull market. I don't think I've done 100x on this bull market so far. I don't think I have. So yeah, I'm still searching for one. And I think there's a few that I've got in mind that I think will do it, but you've got the choice, don't you? You can either buy something that's at a 300 million market cap that might go to 3 billion, or you can buy something like Heart during the bear market when it was like a 10, 20 million market cap and try and ride it all the way to the top. So it's an interesting. What's your kind of take on these kind of investment strategies? Where do you try and get in, and how did you find Heart?
You know, it's interesting. Like I almost have like a split personality when it comes to investing. I think I'm this great researcher, which I am, and I love reading and I like deep diving, and you know, I've always been a good reader, like I like that. But I'm also a highly speculative investor, and I've made a lot of money on things I didn't do a lick of research on. I just could tell people knew more than me, and I knew where the narrative was going. You know what I mean? So like there's been 10 coins I've thrown money at, 3 I've like known all about. 4 or 5, I just kind of knew that like someone smarter than me was running the narrative and had more followers than me and was probably going to actually get more people to see what it was. I've seen sometimes that I don't care how good the tech is, it cares how much more people know about it. And that's the same with, you know, people say, oh, that's how it is. But that's how it is at anything. When Apple stock came out, if they had to run a marketing campaign, any single person had to let people know what the heck it was, you know? They always try to make crypto seem so scandalous, but it's like any single thing. I think I've even seen you say this the other day. I was reading one of your tweets. I would have sworn you said you like anything could be called a pump and dump then, like anything in the world then, like even the stock market then, because like someone has to sell it and someone's got to buy it, you know?
But do you not think it's really, this is what I find to be one of the saddest things about Twitter, and it's where all of the exposers at the end of the day, from my perspective, I used to do it, and I know why I used to do it, because you punch low-hanging fruit, and the people that don't like those people drop off onto you, and that's how you build up an audience. Easiest way to build up an audience on Twitter, YouTube, anywhere, just make bad videos about people. Call them evil, and you'll grow so quickly because you're piggybacking the name. But from what I see, there's a lot of people that go, oh, you're shilling this and you're shilling that. But they, like you said earlier, they don't understand that we're actually just genuinely investing, having fun in the market. And we know that half the time it's not going to go well, and you're quite okay with that as a risk, because you know that the payoff from taking a risk can be a 10, 20, 30x multiple. And I have had a few of them this bull market, but I've also had so many where they've been rugged, or they've been, especially on the meme side of things. I really dialed it back on the whole meme side of things, just because it... people, I guess, don't have the same risk appetite as maybe someone like myself. But it's also where you make the most money. You make the most money taking the most risk. So I can't actually remember the question.
No, but you would ask me a question kind of about like how I go about it, and then we kind of went in. But in segueing, what we're saying is, you know, there's a little bit of both. Like some of it's heavy research, some of it's just knowing what's hot. Like 18 months ago, I'm sitting late at night and I see a tweet, 200,000 Pepe, 300,000 Pepe. At the time, you know, Elon Musk, I don't think he had bought, or he had just bought X, you know, we had just gotten the shake up, and I'm seeing, and next thing you know, 1 million Pepe. And I said to my trading group, I said, listen, I'm not a huge meme guy, and but I haven't seen this many tweets in my life. Since I've been on Twitter, like I hadn't seen that many impressions on anything in the last 7 months. It'd been kind of just COVID stuff and a lot of just, you know, political nonsense. I said, if I don't buy this, I'm an idiot. Like, I'm just dumb. Like, the whole world's telling me that they like it. Like, it's like, so that Pepe was in, and I did use technical analysis. I found an Adam and Eve. Like, I never get in blind. I have to see, it has to, because the way my mind works now, the TA has to let me in the door. But I can see, so that was like, come on, man. It was a no-brainer. I was like, you know, and I sold Pepe, like, at the top of that cycle, the day I went to my dad's funeral, I remember on Wendy O's show, and eventually it went higher than that, you know, whatever, eventually, year and a half later. But so like sometimes it's really just understanding. And again, a lot of people say, how do you do it? How do you find out? I think it's like you, man. We're kind of internet trolls, right? It's like, no offense, bro, but I made it here because I had a night shift and I was studying the internet when everyone else was doing whatever. And I learned that the internet was, you know, all of us are people that everyone else went into the internet and they found kittens, you know, Scottie Pippen reruns, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, right? We went into the internet and we were able to find the truth. Like some people learn how to play the guitar.
So accurate. What you're saying there is very accurate. And I'd say it applies to pretty much every single person that has been doing, not is currently, but has been doing crypto YouTube and content about crypto for more than 3 years. There's like a class, like the class of 2021 and before, that everyone has had an interesting thing that brought them into this industry, because traditionally you would expect people to just head toward traditional finance. There is a reason why you picked crypto. For me, it's because I have no formal financial qualification, but I did like economics at school. I did like business at school. And I came out of that very ambitious, but really not wanting to go to university. So this is kind of like stocks, but with no university. And you're completely correct. A lot of people just browse the internet, but there's also something that separates someone like yourself from kind of your average person, which is then you decide to act. So there's several different forms of acting from my perspective. You've got acting to watch and consume, which most people drop off. So 80% of people that are watching today will not be watching in probably 12 to 18 months time, but the core 20%, those are the ones that will be successful. And then out of that core 20%, you probably have 2 or 3% of those that go on to decide, actually, you know what, I'm so confident in what I'm doing, I'll go and start creating my own content. And I think that everyone has different paths. And yeah, that's just kind of what I'm seeing so far from my experience in this market. You've got people that act become successful, people that don't act and sit on the sidelines and watch and criticize become unsuccessful, and then that just makes them more bitter. And there's so much of that on Twitter these days, especially with the way that the algorithms work. My algorithm's on fire on Twitter, so so I am very well loved, I guess.
Yeah. I can't like for some reason, like I don't know what I did, or if I did something where I used a bot one day, because I went to do a Spaces one day, and some guys did want to boost, and I didn't know what the heck it was. And next thing you know, like, you know, I got extra followers that I didn't want personally. And I said, don't ever do that to me again. And I kind of scolded the dude. And I was like, I never want to work with you again, you know, because I've done all my stuff organically. And then like I was growing hot, real hot, like 100 followers a day for a while. And then now it's like I'll get up to 35, 100, and then I lose 400. And then I gain 500 and then I lose 500. It's like I'm always gaining, but it's like I can't seem to get like a massive. I'm about to just pay like $7,000 a year and just make it professional and think like, I feel like they'll just give me more love if I just pay. You know what I mean? But
I mean, if you want a lesson on growing on Twitter, I can give you one off stream, and I would be willing to bet with a very simple recipe, you would be at 200,000 or 300,000 followers within 4 or 5 months.
Look at that.
I'm pretty confident about that.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident, and there's just some really easy ways to grow that don't involve money or anything like that. It comes down to the same thing as this, which is consistency. But for me, I find Twitter so much more easy to be consistent at. And it's also being genuinely interesting, but also clickbaity enough to get views. But there's ways and means around kind of thought process around doing these things. But for me as well, with Twitter, I find it like we get what on Twitter per month, maybe 100, 200 million views on Twitter. It's mental.
Yeah.
But then you look at my YouTube channel, and I might get like, I don't know, these days, what, 3,000 views out of it? I don't know, I'll get more than that. Maybe like 6,000 views on a video. And I'm like, come on.
Well, it's the same way. Like I can rip on my stream can rip on YouTube, but like they're separate niches. Like it's almost like you get some crossover, but it's like, there's people who are huge on Twitter. They can't get anyone to follow them on YouTube. There are people that are huge on YouTube. They can't get as many followers on Twitter. It's just like, dude, we're pumping now. So my trade's up. Not a lot. I'm up $27, you know what I mean? But we're back to kind of where I got in, and I somehow didn't get stopped out. Like we got so high, I got so close. Like I'll show them the screen here. I got so close to getting stopped out by like a wick, and somehow I'm still in now. Looks like we may go to 100K, man. I don't know. Like we'll see what happens.
I hope not.
He's like, oh man. A couple, I want to take some, I don't want to waste too much of your time. I could be with you all day. We're having a blast. The vibes are great. Let's just see if there's any questions from people in the chat. Everyone, we got the chat right up. I want to see if there's any real questions you want to ask. Another thing, you have a playful attitude. You're actually pretty, man, you're super smart, well learned. Like, you sound like a guy that did go to professional school or is business trained. Like, I mean, you have, you're very formal, man. Like, I got to give it to you, bro.
Yeah, that comes from, I guess, I don't read, but I read the internet a lot. And I have always read the internet a lot. And I think that more so than formal education, you can educate yourself on topics. Like I think that I'm quite good at my job. And you can also be, education doesn't have to be boring. That's something that I think. We made a business for it, but I don't want to talk about it because it's jelly, whatever. But when it comes to educating and when it comes to being well-spoken, everything like that, you've got to teach yourself that for YouTube anyway. But it's not like I was thick at school. I was pretty good. I was kind of top of the class most of the time. Okay. Because the teachers always tell you, don't they, try hard, good things will happen. Don't try, bad things will happen. Oh, yeah. And what you learn at school, more so than anything else, the most important thing is you learn how to learn. And if you can learn how to learn, that's more important than what you're actually learning.
Amen. Amen.
So yeah, that's in my experience, is just learning to learn. And having the discipline to sit down and actually learn is something that people don't possess generally.
Focus and discipline, man, was the thing I needed. I had all the drive, but that's what I focus a lot. I teach students how to trade. I go over all the stuff, but I always say, like, I like the metaphor of a gardening video, because, I got to leave New York City just a few years back, and I got to spend 4 years back home, and I was able to plant, and I had like at least a half an acre of land. And I watched a lot of gardening videos. And you could sit there and watch 100 gardening videos, right? And you could know everything about soil, pH, but did you go outside and actually put your hand in the dirt? So there's a lot of people that watch YouTube. They say they know how to trade, right? They know trading, but like they haven't done. I did that. You could watch literally YouTube for 7 years until you actually, and you can even trade, but you have to I learned you actually have to be back testing and like disciplining how you have to have a model. You have to create how you're doing it. Like, what am I using? How am I using it? And I learned at one point after 5 years of heavy trading that I was like going to go to nowhere if I didn't decide to take this extra disciplined step. And I'll be honest, I got scared inside because my brain identified how hard I had to work. And I said, oh my God, like that's what they're doing to make it. These guys, these traders, like they have a system and they've been watching price action. And I'm like, dude, like, and I was like, and that was about 10 years ago. And now I get it. And I'm like, okay, I put in the work and now I have a model and a system. Like today I showed them how to trade and it did exactly what I said it was going to do on the live. I was like, it's going to do this. It should do it. The probabilities were high, right? You don't know for sure, but based off years of backtesting and data, you actually don't use your emotions anymore. You're able to see things and not just do it because, oh, I want to trade right now, So yeah, I just see a lot of people they don't take that extra focus and discipline. See, right now I'm going to show you like Bitcoin's in what's called an Adam and Eve double bottom, right? See this on the 1 minute? That's a 90% chance that it's going to go the length of this pole, right? Which is to 100,700. Like I don't make the rules, right? Like I'm just telling you that's what's supposed to happen right now. So if I trade long, I'm supposed to get paid here, right? So I don't know anything else. Like I'm a don't, you know what I mean? I play simpleton, like, but this is supposed to go up and hit 107 now because that's what this pattern does. Whenever I see the triangle with the semicircle, like I'm real simple, bro. Like I just do what it tells me to do and I try not to fight it. I used to see this for years and not do what it told me. See, I knew this stuff and wouldn't do it. I'd short anyway. I'd be like, it's a double top. I'm right, but I didn't know enough about the pattern, so I couldn't see that was an Adam and Eve double bottom. And I didn't realize how powerful the 1 minute was, man. It's like the 1 minute it's almost like voodoo. Like it holds like almost the key to the market on many, many days. And it took me almost 12 years to figure that out, So I don't know if that helps you.
Absolutely. And it becomes, I would say, in my experience, the 4 hours after US market open are the most profitable time of day to trade.
Yeah,
in my experience.
Give us some of your give us just a couple of your little gems real quick, because this is a trading community, so they'll eat it up, and that's what they really want to hear. Yeah,
it's what I focus on. So I focus on the 4 hours. It's 2:30 p.m. UK time. I don't actually know what time it is in the US when the US market opens. or rather, what time is it in Dubai? It's like 6:30 in Dubai when I'm out there. Whenever US market opens, anyway. The 4 hours after that, all you need to do is, I mean, do what I do, which is just you stick to the 1 minute. The 1 minute is so accurate, and just very simply following the direction of wherever it's going, you generally get one big move in one direction, then you get a reverse move in the opposite direction, then you get about 2 hours of stagnation and the continuation of that move. That's probably, unfortunately, what's going to happen to me right now, and I'm probably going to get caught out by it because I didn't take enough profits earlier. But
at least you're honest. Maybe not. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. It's not over yet, right?
You're not filling me full of confidence.
What do I know? I'm just a crypto lifer, man. You know, it's probably nothing.
Yeah, I'm currently sat $16,000 in a loss on this trade, which is amazing. That's exactly what we want. It's mainly because I tried doing the crazy thing of shorting XRP.
Why would you? Oh my gosh! All right.
No, because it will pay off. It'll pay off as long as you're not like crazy on the leverage on it, which I'm not. It'll pay off.
We're mooning right now though. Oh my 100! I told you we're going to the target, the Adam and Eve, yo.
Yeah, no, my entry's not so bad. It's at 309, and we're currently at 336. But it'll cool off. It'll have 2 or 3 hours towards 7 p.m. UK time, whereby it seems to be like that. So UK markets close,
and I bet you'll trade cross and you'll bag it up where you'll be able to suffer through, and you'll eventually get back.
You can't liquidate me. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So unless it's like the world's biggest pump, and then it's really expensive. And that's how I lost all of my money actually during the crash. I lost $6 million in a single trade, live on YouTube during the market crash when it crashed.
Legend.
The first time it hit 60K.
Straight legend lost 6 million live, yo.
Yeah, that was awful.
It's kind of cool to say, man, because the multi-billionaires of this world, like I'll be honest, if I had to bet on who could hit $1 billion, I feel like you could hit $1 billion, man. In the next 10 years, maybe I feel like you could hit $1 billion, bro. If anyone could hit $1 billion, you have the mentality to hit $1 billion. I don't need to know your balance sheet, man. It doesn't matter to me, but you have the mentality to hit $1 billion. You know, because like
I'm most interested to. I think I'll stop when I get.
Oh no, the stream right there. We got a freeze right there. No. Hold on. Let's see if it comes back.
Pull out, and then we actually sit down and think about what do you do with that much money? Because
hold on. We froze. We froze on you right when you said that. You were like, I think I'm gonna. And we got you back though. We got you back.
Right, I'm back now. It's just my internet connection is unstable. I know exactly why that is. It's because the Wi-Fi is I switched over to a different Wi-Fi. It's okay. It'll work now.
You did 2.5 to the 5, right? Yeah, you did that little.
I think my phone just died. It was using phone internet before, and now we're back to Wi-Fi in England, which is always terrible. But yes, what was I saying about getting liquidated? I can't remember.
You got liquidated for 6 mil in front of everyone. Yes. But I said I think you could become a billionaire, and then you said I'd like to stop somewhere at this.
I want to stop. Yeah. So the 100 million is time to stop and reevaluate. Because last time I was at 100 million, I didn't stop. I didn't reevaluate, and I went all the way back down to 10, which is great. You got 10. Yeah, it's depressing, especially when you take on expenses and you enjoy your money, and then suddenly you're not able to do that anymore, because at 10 you've got to be a bit more responsible, and then especially like you want to buy houses, you want to buy cars, you can't do that with 10. It's not enough, because by the time you've bought them, because I can't get finance because I'm in crypto, you've got to pay cash for everything, which is the biggest issue of this industry. To actually grow in this industry, well, you want to be focusing on paying cash for everything, but that's why this year it's just bag it up, put it in cash, everything in cash this year. So it'll come, and but I don't know if I want to get to $1 billion. I'm quite happy at 100, because I think at that level, I was speaking to some fund managers, people that understand like big money a lot better than what I understand it. I understand how to play around with peasant change on the internet to try and flip it into something that's kind of worthwhile. But when it comes to actually maintaining large sums of money, I have a very bad track record of that. Like, it's actually incredible how bad that track record is.
You're the most candidly honest persons I've ever met. Like, most people would just hide these things that they don't have to admit. You know what I mean? But like, it's kind of just like, hey man, this is what I've done. But it's kind of, I find that's the best part of becoming fiscally responsible, letting the world know that you weren't. I think the next time, honestly, bro, I wasn't either. And now I'm very, very good with money, right? But until I was 28, dude, I was not. And now I am. I honestly, I'm very good with money. When I get it, I keep it. I learn how to use it. I stacked cash and real estate, so now I can get loans. You see what I'm saying? Instead of like I learned that some of the returns weren't better, but I needed the paper life, right? So I created a paper life slowly too, because you have to do it slowly too. It's not easy because there's only so many off ramps, and I have been strategically growing my paper life. You know what I mean? But I don't even want to. It's just you got to play the game, right? And so I think you're very young, man. I'm 42 years old soon, right? You have 14 years to get where I'm at. Like, dude, you have like, I'm excited for you. You already have a bigger channel than I did at a younger age. You have more knowledge. You've been in the game. You have so much coming for you. You don't even know what the next 14 years, man. Like what I did from 28 to now. Oh my God, I lived like 100 lifetimes, you know? So you should be excited. Like I want you to be super inspired that at your age where you're at, and again, fun, beat yourself up a little bit. You should. Any hard man should, right? You want to be good at what you do. You want to be great. But you also did some things. Who went to that height? I mean, 100 mil. Like I never did that. That's insane. That's amazing.
I think of it like this. When you go to not that I've ever been, but like an AA meeting, the first step in admitting that you've got a problem is being very upfront and honest about the problem that you've got, which might not be a gambling problem, which is not what I've got. It's a problem of being bad at managing large sums of money. When it gets to a certain size, I just always have this habit of going, okay, well, we can turn 5 million into 20 million next week because I have this kind of 100x.
But you don't realize right now, because you're young, you think you're going to realize one day, I think you're going to be worth 200 million, but you're going to flip it to 4. You're going to be, and it's going to be because you have this mentality. See, what I learned is a lot of the things that I thought were my detriment at my younger age ended up becoming my strength, but because I didn't know where my road was going, I couldn't see that yet. Right? I'm not like, we don't know 100%, but I'm just, because I'm older than you, I see value in what you already said where you may not. Okay? You understand? I can already see how this could benefit you later on, but you're already like, but I'm bad, you know? But so it's interesting, man. You know what I mean? That's why I really truly believe you could become a billionaire, man, you know?
I think it'll be interesting. I to be honest, with your algorithm and your growth at the moment, you'll beat me. You're doing a great job at the whole YouTube game. I am insanely jealous, but in a nice way.
Yeah. Well, I used to watch you and be the same way, bro. You have to remember, I was on the couch sitting there, and you were like, bomb, and I'm like, dude, these guys just kill it. Wang Da, you know, and like I remember 1 year, it took me a year to get 100 subscribers, 2 years to get 1,000. And I honestly, I work like my channel really, I don't get a lot on my content. So like I scrape daily. I'm like a raker. I rake for leaves. Like if I don't go live, like the channel probably comes to almost to a halt at one point. So like on my channel is like, they like the content, but even when I do these interviews, like I'm always tentatively do them. We had great retention today though. So I'm happy about it. It stayed strong, and they usually fall off. The fact that we have this many people still watching is amazing, you know? But they obsessed with the live trading. They're obsessed with like, you know, they want to see me lose or win, whether they hate me or love me. I don't know what it is, but I've niched myself into a live stream channel. And it's like, I thought about it this morning. I'm like, if I do any other content, I have to make another channel. Cause it's just, I could do the beautifulest video that explains everything, how to trade the bull run with in-depth editing. And it could be like literally the gold mine of how to get out of the bull market. And like, even if my 100,000, 80,000 subscribers, like 3,000 people will watch it for some reason, you know, but 20,000 will watch the live stream. I don't know why. It's just.
No, I fully see the same thing for me, apart from both things are not working at the moment. But that's only because I took Christmas off. Before Christmas, it was going great. I was getting like 1,200 concurrent viewers on a stream, which is great. But then after Christmas, I literally came back. And I made a video, and the comment sections was flooded with hate. And everyone's like, oh, where did you go? You abandoned us. And I'm like, I had Christmas. That's it. I just took 7 days off.
Where did you go?
It was brutal.
Yeah. Well, we'll end this with just thank you so much for your time, man. I learned so much about you. You know, kind of a lot about your personality, where you come from. Any last things you want to kind of leave us with? Any thoughts, any ideas, you know, for the young, you know, the people that want to get where we're at, want to have they want to be able to say they lost and gained 100 mil in their life one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. The best thing to do is stop trying to run. Just take your time with it. Yes, we are in a bull run, but the biggest gains were made 9 months ago from getting in early and being early. But 9 months ago, nobody wanted to invest. And looking at these incredibly long-term charts is how you get rich in this game. And you won't get rich coming in mid-cycle unless you get very lucky. And if you do get rich, it's because you got lucky. Recognize that fact and sell. Like, it's not saying that it's impossible to. It's absolutely incredibly possible. Like, it will happen to so many people that watch. But they won't sell, so they won't stay rich. Yep. So I would always say sell. Look after the money that you've got. That is the most important thing. Look after your trading capital. But actually learning to trade and generating a steady income from that, rather than trying to take an account that's got 1,000 in it and trying to make 10,000 in a day, why do you try and make 1%? $10. That's all you need to do. Because if you do that every single day and you make 1% every single day, you make 37.78 times across the span of a year. So basically you make a 38x in the span of a year. So your $1,000 account by the end of the year, if you compounded all your gains, would be worth $38,000 pretty much. So all you need to do is make consistent gains. You don't need to make a lot every single time. It's about being right more than anything. That's the most important thing, even if it's for a small amount of money. And selling. When you hit 1%, the richest people I know sell. The ones that are up and down, more like me, we tend to hold. We are on a little bit too long. We have a little bit too much ambition. We go, oh, the trade's gone against us. Maybe we can fund our way out of this. We've literally discussed this on this stream. Like, yeah, sure, I'm only trading with small money. I'll fund my way out of it. My way of doing that, though, is if I'm trading with a $10,000 account, and it goes against me, say that I'm $3,000 in a loss, so I'm 30% in a loss on a trade, what I'll do is I'll add $20,000 or $30,000 into the margin of the account, and I'll double the size of the trade at a point where I think that it's peaked in whichever direction is the opposite to what I think it's going. I'll bring up my entry so that then I'll bring down my entry depending on what I'm doing, 50%. So I'll double the size of the trade, which brings up the entry bunch, and then I just need a slight retrace on that to get out and exit. And that's the main thing. You're not trying to profit on that trade. That trade at that point in time has failed. You are not trying to make a profit on that trade.
No, it's mitigation.
You're trying to, just get out.
It's mitigation. Yep, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just look after the money that you've got and try and grow it steadily and be consistent. And the most consistent people will make the best profit, and they'll have the nicest time, and they'll have the best life in the future. Those that are inconsistent with it, those that are in one stream and then they miss 2 streams and then they're back again, and then they miss 2 streams and then they're back again, and then they missed a week and then they go, oh, I found it in my algorithm again, I'll watch that. Those people won't make nowhere near as much money as the people that tune in every single day and actually pay full attention. Like for me, I watch your stream every day. I watch my own company's streams every day. I don't watch my own stream because I'm streaming as well. But I always have some kind of crypto content on in the background, because you've got to be plugged in, especially in a bull market, and especially where we are in the bull market, because you want to catch the short position. When the short position comes, the most money you've ever made in your life. It'll drop 30 or 40% in a day. It'll nuke everybody, and then it'll bounce up higher than it's ever been before. So the next drop is going to be so good. You just be watching content all the time to catch it, though, because it'll come, and just recognize it early. But yeah, it's kind of, I guess, a good way to close out. Just be sensible.
Yeah, everyone, we wanted to bring you this value for a long time. I knew our conversation would benefit you. We're both OGs in the space, him even longer than me. Everything you said was true. I have good instincts. Follow him on Twitter at that Martini, at the Martini guy. You can't, I mean, everybody knows him. He's the Martini guy, man. All right. So follow him on Twitter. He gives good alpha even on his Twitter. So, and he's going to start streaming. I have a feeling he's going to come back with a vengeance after this. I have a feeling he's going to come strong, but watch him. He's going to be streaming probably daily, right? When do you stream? When do you plan on streaming?
I stream. I mean, I try. Yep. I try to go for the US market open, but I'm in the UK at the moment, which means that I'm probably more likely on evenings. It does change. That's what I mean about consistency. So with me, it's It's 50-50. Just put on channel notifications. But then when I'm back in Dubai, I generally find a time that works for me. And it's generally, I mean, you're at what? You're like 4 o'clock UK till like 6 o'clock UK. I'm probably more like 1 o'clock UK through to about 4 o'clock. But it does tend to be that, to be honest, when I go on stream, I'm on there for 5 hours. I enjoy streaming. It's fun. And I do tend to do it every day. But what I have set myself a goal of this year is I have to make more than 365 videos this year. So even before this stream, I posted a video. Even if it's a rubbish handheld video, I'll still get that video out.
Put the content out. Consistency is key, man. It doesn't, amen. Amen. A lot of life lessons today, a lot of gems. God bless you. Thank you so much for your time, man. And we'll see you on the next one.
Very good. Well, pleasure speaking to you for the first time.
You too, man. Yeah, we just met here, everyone, too. So we did it candidly for you guys.
Never spoke to him before.
Have a great day. Have a great night. Thank you so much, man, for reaching out when my mom died. It meant a lot. God bless.
Yeah, no bother. Ciao. Have a nice day.
Cheers. All right, everybody. That was the Martini guy. He's been around a long time. If you didn't know him, I definitely think you should follow him. He spends all day scanning the market. He's got a great mind, super smart dude, and he's been around a long time. So check him out at the Martini guy. Anyway, Bitcoin. I took the trade. The trade pumped, right? I stayed in it. I sold right here, but it made another flag. So I scalped that trade. I did take the money. We made about 150, another one. So that's 3 trades in a row. Every single trade hit today that we put out. Looking for this to kind of hold this previous support as resistance and get a pump. And I'll giving you guys more as I'm in the trading group. God bless you all. It was a long live stream. I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. Let me see who's still hanging out here in the chat. Wow, we still got a lot of people here in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming on in. I just want to see what the chat has to say. Did you guys like the interview? Did you have a good time? All right. Nice work, Sammy. Nice. I followed him already from the beginning. Sam, tell me the name of the SMA you use. I just use the MMAs. Yeah. Great stream. Thank you, Martini guy, brother. Thank you, everybody. Very educational. Thank you. Great interview. Very good interview. It really was, man. It was classic. It will go down in history. Epic, epic. All right, I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll be in the trading group throughout the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Bullshit. Right now. Bullshit. Bullshit.